uh, okay, call hello,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Bashem, Yahshua, Bashem, Kavdash.
and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Honors to you brothers out there in the highways and the byways, man. The Israelites, we come out here every week, man, to teach this word, man. And we were having a good conversation just now, man, about morality, man. What is morality? What determines right or wrong? You know, when is mercy a thing? When is compassion a thing? Or when is judgment a thing? These are interesting things, and it all really goes back to the Spirit of the Lord, and it goes back to the scriptures. You know, when is it murder, and when is it righteous judgment? Well, it goes back to the scriptures. Scriptures detail, like if someone keyed your car, is that worthy to put a man to death for? Or you know, or someone looked at you wrong. Is it is it worthy to just kill a man and say, oh, but it wasn't murder? No, there's different situations in the scriptures that you can deal with, man. And it's there. But Esau's got his own different thing going on about when you could do this and when you can do that. He's going about setting up his own righteousness because the word of the Lord is there for us to live by. And he want to pretend like it don't exist. All right. In fact, can we get a remove not thy neighbor's landmark, and also the scripture Deuteronomy 32:8, because there is a respect that comes for other people in their land. Yeah.
It's Isaiah 10:1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees. Right? You know, so we have the scriptures here, we have the law here, right? And Esau has it. Esau's had it for a long time in his possession. But he decides to go against that only. And there might be some things he does that that you find
that might align.
That might work for him. But he really's got his own law that supersedes what the scriptures say.
And he's
even willing to break those when it suits him.
Yeah, because ultimately, his law is the law of might, and that's something that's been coming up with this Venezuelan issue. Is that, and this is the funny thing about the situation. It weren't no longer than what, a month ago that we were in the mix of a Christian revival, right? They said they sold the most Bibles, but that man sold bare Bibles. You got TPS USA, fucking Hulkamania, man. You know she's out there doing up all the NWO. Out there like Scott Hall coming out like Razor Ramon throwing toothpicks after her husband died. Erica Kirk, man. No, Kirk Angle, man. Erica Kirk Angle, man. Kirk Angle was a real bad man. They're doing up all that, and Christianity and America's white, and we need to make Christianity great again. And then 2 months later, they're like, yeah, fuck it, we got to rule by strength. We got to take the resources. We got to rule. It doesn't matter what them people want, or it doesn't matter what belongs to them. It's like, hold on, wait, might is right. Well, your judgment isn't supposed to be based upon power, because that's why the Bible says you're supposed to what? Defend the widow. You're supposed to defend the fatherless and the poor. Being strong doesn't make you right. Let's get the scriptures on that. Also, yeah.
So there's another one. Wisdom of Solomon 2, verse 10. Let us oppress the poor, righteous man. Let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient grey hairs of the age. Let our strength be the law of justice. Right? This is the wicked reason themselves.
Break it down.
Right? So like we were saying, like Esau, all he respects is power and might. Right? He's what he rules by is what he's able to achieve with his power. If you can't resist his power, then he's gonna abuse his own. Right? And this is what you see in Venezuela and stuff, because Venezuela ain't got no. They're not able to resist any longer because Esau's been fucking them up for years now. Hugo Chavez was in power, and they're getting shot with tariffs, and they made inflation going crazy over there.
If I could speak on that real quick, that's why Venezuela. One of the things they're pushing right now is, they let the infrastructure fall apart, and then so they could push the high IQ thing. Oh well, when you colonize these unwashed third world apes, you build all this infrastructure, and then when you leave, it crumbles because their IQs are not high enough to maintain an infrastructure. No, that's not what happened. They had an infrastructure. Esau put, it was actually Trump. Trump put sanctions on Venezuela, which didn't allow them to sell the oil they had. So then, when you're running a government, you need revenue, especially if you're running a socialist government, right? Which means you're using government funds, government revenues to pay for schools and things of this nature. The money has to come from somewhere. So when you put sanctions on Venezuela and you stop them from selling their oil, what happens is production drops. Once production drops, you no longer have the revenue to spend on maintaining the infrastructure, because you need to choose now between maintaining the infrastructure and all the other things you have to do.
Yep.
So overall, everything in your country is going to start degrading, even the other systems, because that was the main source of revenue you had, and now it's gone.
If I remember correctly, one video was basically going into how it was American-made parts anyway. So if America's not doing business with you, how are you going to get those?
Now you got to find another way to get those parts. But then they created the problem. They created that issue, which doesn't hurt the elites, by the way. When these good God-fearing Christians put sanctions on these evil dictators and these evil men around the world, it's not the evil dictator that suffers. Them man and yamin stick. Whenever you put sanctions on a country, you're not hurting the elites of that country, the higher ups, because they will always be in a position within that country to get the prime punani and the prime beef. That's just how the game goes. The people who actually suffer is the people that's on the edge of society. The people who are already poor, they're gonna suffer, and they tell you that, because what they're hoping happens, allegedly, is that they revolt and take down their own elite. So in a way, it's a form of siege warfare, where you're punishing the poor, you're punishing the vulnerable and the needy. But then these are the same men that are supposed to be Ned Flandering around the place, talking about love thy neighbor and God. As soon as they come up to the camp and we say anything about, oh, God is love. But hold on, if God is love, why are you punishing poor people around the world and making them suffer for your geopolitical needs?
And you believe, or you suppose, you say you believe in whole love thy enemy thing.
Yeah.
Where is that?
Where is that?
Where is that?
Because
they're doing the same thing in Iran right now. Or have been doing the same
that's
thing
what
in
they've
Iran.
been doing in Iran. And it's not the Ayatollah. Listen, the Ayatollah is still getting the cheap whiskey. What them niggas are drinking? Yeah, they're getting the cheap whiskey. They're getting the finest white holes imported. They're getting the best of everything, because they got access to whatever the country has. They're gonna have access to it. Who's gonna suffer is the liquor man, the man that's not even making any decisions, and you're happy with that, showing you that you're not really a moral people. You've never been a moral, and the morals you profess aren't the morals that you actually live by, which is funny, because we was just talking about
Is it they freeze funds as well, freeze accounts?
They steal the funds, steal the gold. Same thing with Libya. Where's Libya's gold at? Everyone forgets about that because of the news cycle. But Libya had bare gold. Where is that? Venezuela's got gold in the UK right here. That's gone. It was actually entrusted to them. So you entrust this man with your gold to keep, and then it's gone. It's out of it.
Yeah. It's the book of Job 35:9. By reason of the multitude of oppressions, they make the oppressed to cry.
Yeah. Iraq was Iraq under Saddam. Millions of people died of starvation because of the sanctions they put on Saddam. And all these Christians in America, they didn't have nothing to say about it. But then they come up to the camp, you guys are hateful. Where was Volcom Malone? Where's Volcom Malone saying love thy neighbor and this ain't right? He ain't got, but we're the worst people on earth. Oh, the Hebrew Israelites, they're the worst. They're the worst group on the earth. Oh, really? Are we starving anyone? Are we oppressing the poor of the earth? You're causing people to have to run and leave their country, women to go into prostitution, because that's where you're getting all these prostitutes. All these Latinas that's in prostitute, what do you think? Why do you think they're begging bread? I watched one documentary. It was this woman. She was from a lot of Venezuelans went over to Colombia, but in Colombia, when you flee to Colombia, there's no welfare, so you got to make it how you make it. And she was there. She was living in a room, like some little room with other families, and she was like, yeah, like my husband got killed. She had her 3 kids. So she fled because obviously be a shot, yeah? Be a rifle, yeah. So she's scared to die that way. So she's fleeing to Colombia. She's living there. So how do you think she's paying for rent? She got to go out on the block here, and some dirty dick dude's got to go up inside of her to get bread to feed her kids. But all that's happening is a direct result of the American Monroe Doctrine and the destabilization they've caused in America. So they've caused all that impoverishment and that pain and that distress. Then they'll turn around and all these illegal immigrants are coming up in our country.
There's a way for them to say, "Oh, these, you know, your leaders in these countries are so bad because they're mistreating the people." It's not even the case of that. Like, obviously, you know, the leaders, leaders in these states are going to take the best in it, but you're making the situation a hell of a lot worse.
You're not going in, and this is the thing: the lie that you're going in there for moral reasons. You have no morality.
To
You
help,
don't.
to help the Venezuelan people.
You don't care. Yeah, you don't care about
Because they're not making any money.
it. But hold on,
Because you're the one stopping them making money.
but I got one for you. You don't care about the Americans. So how are you gonna care about Venezuela? This is the word. This is the biggest psyop ever. How you want us to believe you care about Venezuelans when your own CIA was bringing crack cocaine into America? So you don't care about Americans. If you cared about Americans, they wouldn't be crying on TikTok and demanding a Messiah. Why do you need a Messiah? Why did you need the Messiah Trump for? Because you were getting oppressed in your own country. And you're still oppressed, really. You just don't know it yet. Go on, carry on with your point, Lee.
Yeah. So
I just have to bring that out there that it was Esau that set up that whole situation.
They only say they cry out by reason of the harm of the might.
The might. Esau has that military might, and he's always used it for evil. He's always used it to benefit himself, and he does not defend the weak. He takes advantage of the weak.
Yeah.
There's a difference. He's a bully. He's a big bully. And man did this whole the Delta Force. Bro, the Delta Force, I was watching one guy and he was breaking it down. He's actually soldier in America. He said, listen, them man are praising the Delta Force. The Delta Force don't go on missions unless everything's lined up in their favor. They will, the Special Operations Unit is not a unit. They try to make it look like they're the guys they send in when all's lost. No, that's not what they are. The man they send in when all's lost is the normal guys. You know, the Saving Private Ryan guns. Because they don't ask questions. When they oh shit, man, they got fucking air defenses in there. Them motherfuckers got AKs. Man, don't know. There's no reconnaissance, but we need this. Oh, where is it? We don't know. You just gotta go in there and find it. Yeah, okay. We send them man in there. Them man, oh shit. Oh. Man's are clapping from all over the. No, that's not the special forces. Don't do that job. The job the special forces do is okay. Do we have air support? Do we have intelligence? Is intelligence been confirmed? Do we have assets on the ground?
We got a guy on the inside.
Do we got guys on the inside? Where are the bogies? We need to know where everyone is. That's when the special forces go in. They go in like, for instance, there was no air defenses operating. Yeah, they wouldn't have gone in there if there was fucking missiles flying back at their helicopters. A man could have got shot down. So they're not even the real smoky man. Them man do things when everything's in their favor.
Professional assassin.
If everything's not in their favor, they're not doing the job. They'll be like, no, we ain't got enough intelligence. So we need to give that to the man that we can afford to die. Yeah. So those are gassing these men up. But at the same time, this is what they do. They bully gunboat diplomacy. This has always been Esau's way. And this is how he's managed to get the rest of the world to take deals that are totally yeah, like not even it's the Mayweather fucking A side to the degree where you're getting 1 and I'm getting 99. And you have to just accept that. My corporation's gonna go into your country, but guess what? They're not even gonna pay tax in your country. But don't worry, I'll give you a couple $100,000 and I'll allow your son to come to London and he can get a degree. That's how it works. We'll nice you off, but we're not gonna pay no tax in your country. All right, go John Perkins, the economic hitman. And they have to do it because if they don't, Esau's going to send in a special operation and shoot you or blow your country up or put you on the sanctions, make up some reason that they don't like you because they don't have no morals, but they'll make one up. And then starve your people to the point where man's like, okay, you got to go. Color revolutions.
And let's not forget, this is the man that destabilized Latin America for fucking bananas.
For bananas, man.
Yeah, that's what it was. That term, Banana Republic.
Yeah, that's where it comes from. So how do you balance that with being this good Christian and this Christian revival when you're basically doing the same thing you've always done? And that's what we said, the same thing with what you see happening to the Palestinians. It's the same thing they did to Gaza. It's the same thing, just over time, kill, take more land. And then label the other person as a savage. It's the same MO. So Esau hasn't changed.
Second Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 14. And no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into the angel of light. So they want to play this good guy, even though they're the reason why these men have been suffering. You know, when we come to save you though, from Maduro, the only reason why you're suffering was because of these guys in fucking America, man. You know,
Most people, right? And this is the thing: the majority of people on the planet just want to live. Just give them enough. Really, just really allow them to have enough. But Esau, that's why it's called the third world and not the second world. Esau don't want you to even have enough. Esau could still be the top dog. Still could have money. But there's plenty of wealth in the world.
spends it on more.
But he wants the 1% to have 99, and then the rest of the 99 have to share out 1%.
He even wants that.
And he wants that. How does it make sense? So the world doesn't have to be like that. They could allow these countries to get a little bit more for themselves, and it actually would be better. It'd be more stable. But Esau is not. He's a parasite, man.
Yeah, yes, sir.
He cannot be satisfied, and this is the reality that we're dealing with a demon.
A couple of weeks back, we looked into that word sadist, man. And that's what this man is. He's all about just suffering.
He
He
loves-
loves suffering.
And it makes him feel that he's the big wig when he sees other. That's because he's Edomite. That's why they're always talking about third world, because it makes them feel good that there's other people out there living in huts.
And this is the thing. This is why who Esau truly is Cain, right? Because Cain, he's just a boss. He can't do right. He loves people fooling. You know, he doesn't like people doing good and being praised for good. You know, that's why he hates his brother Abel.
He don't like anyone that's got morals. So the first thing he does is he tries to corrupt you. He tries to corrupt your morals, and that's what his system's about. Just look at the Diddy thing. You come in to go music industry. The first thing they want to do is corrupt you. They want to get you to do some evil because they don't want no one to be good. They want everyone to be like them. They want you to be demonic.
It said verse 15, therefore it is no great thing if his ministers also be transformed as the ministers of righteousness.
Yeah.
Right. So that's how they appear to the world. I want to appear to the
Yeah,
world.
they're Christian. They throw out that Jesus picture because you see Trump again the other day. He drew that big portrait of the white Jesus, and it sold for $2.5 million with all the gospel music playing in the background. And then you go and do that. There's a disconnect. There's a disconnect to what they preach and what they claim they stand for, which is love and peace and all these. Oh, I'm a peaceful guy. They're not.
This is the true face of so-called white man's Christianity. War, death. And it's always been this way. The conquistadors.
Yeah.
These were pious religious men.
Yeah. Oh,
But
no. They were spreading Christianity. No, they were trying to get that gold, and they were trying to get some Fulani, the oils. And all that. They wanted the resources because they wanted to set a war unto him that covets an evil covetousness to their house, that their nest can be set on high. This is what Esau's all about, man. Esau's all about elevating himself, not through the righteousness which is of the Most High. Because if you do righteousness, you will be blessed. You don't have to rob, kill, and steal to be blessed.
He did.
You too can live. Listen, you too can live good in the New World Order. That's what I start saying.
That's the thing. Esau can't be blessed. That's why he does what he does. He's
Right.
You know, he can't be blessed. He knows he stays over it.
You don't have to. The thing is, and this is where our world is going to be completely different. Yes, we're going to have these nations under subjection. Yes, we're going to have the world under administration, but we're not going to be parasitic. There's a difference. Our rulership is going to be uplifted to everyone. They're going to live better than how they're living now. They're not going to be living as good as us because obviously when you're royal, there's always going to be a separation between the royal people and the commoners. But that doesn't mean the commoners have to be like
Well, yeah.
in the
That's the
face
whole
of the
point of
dirt.
being holy, separate.
Separate. We're going to be
Let's
separate.
get
Don't get us twisted.
It's gonna be us.
Yeah, we're gonna be on a higher level, but our mindset isn't gonna be about parasitical, just crushing people to rule. You don't need to crush people to rule. If you rule properly, them man will just serve
Appreciate
you because they love it, man, and they know that things are running well.
There is such a thing as a good master.
There is.
You know, maybe not so much in this world, but there is such a
Man,
thing.
sounds good to me.
You know,
Am I not? And that's why the Bible says, "He that ruleth the nations in it." Yeah.
show me your credit.
Show me your yeah, that's oh man, that's a good just say the Bible says, man, he that ruleth the nations with anger. Because Esau rules the nations with nothing but contempt, hate. He has a perpetual hatred for these nations. Now, we're not going to hate these nations forever. We're not going to wake up every day and just hate.
Once the punch is done, it's done.
Bro.
We got equal to score, whatever you want to say.
And you just chill. No, but Esau, we seen that even in 2026, he's still the same. He still has a disregard for life, bro. He don't care. He's just a demon. It might as well be what's his name? What is it? The English dude. What's that guy's name? That they Churchill and them. They're no different. They all got the same. It's the same dudes. Andrew Jackson. It's the same dudes with the same mentality. They hate everyone else. The system of white supremacy is a system of hatred. They hate. And what does the Bible say? Because it ain't love. The Bible said, love worketh no ill to his neighbor. And Esau ain't worked no good to anyone. He wants to make you think that, oh, colonization. No, Esau ain't worked no good. That's why everyone's angry and upset.
This is therefore it's no great thing if his ministers also be transformed as the ministers of righteousness, whose end shall be according to their works.
Meaning, in the end, these men are gonna get missing it up. They're gonna get the end that they deserve. You get what you deserve. They're gonna get what they deserve because really, what they deserve is they sowed evil and they deserve evil coming back.
They've been lying about it all the time.
These Ned Flanders walking around there, okily dokily and all this stuff. These men are not okily dokily.
If I can say, man, it's like these nations right now, especially a nation that has like a natural resources, they're just seeing America do what the hell they want, and everyone knows it can't.
It's gangster. You know what it is? And the funny thing is, yeah, I see people doing videos where they were like superimposing Trump over Soldier Boy. Right. It was like, yeah, can't, doing all that stuff. And this is the funny thing. They used the Big Papa, Notorious B.I.G. The White House put gangster music in their video about what Trump did. Now think about it. This is the insanity of the psyop. Yeah? These are the same people that hate Jake and look down on Jake. They say, look at Jake, man. They're just animals, man. Criminals, gangsters, like Bloods and Crips. Like, when you think about it, right, you are doing exactly what the Bloods and the Crips do, just on an industrial scale. What do the Bloods and Crips do, right? They, for their own profit and their own gain, they're willing to kill, murder, and steal to make sure that they got the butter and the cheese, right?
If you encroach on their territory,
it's merciless. But further to that, if they see you look weak in any way, they're gonna take that corner, and they ain't gonna take that corner by asking you for it. The corner's gonna be taken by pow pow, right? Pow pow.
Under operation.
They don't have no morals, man. There's no morals in the game. There ain't no morals. We know that it's immoral the way they behave. It's true. It's very ruthless. But where they get it from? Because clearly they got it from you because it fits. Trump is acting like a gangster, but he's just in a suit. But really, when you break it down, they've always been acting like gangsters.
Yep. Real quick. Yeah. Yahshua speaking to Israelites, but referring to this devil, says John 8:44, ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father you will do. It was a murder from the beginning, and abode not in truth, because there is no truth in him.
Stop there. Abode not in truth. The whole thing's a lie. Man's whole society is propaganda. As soon as that whole thing happened, half of what was coming out their mouth wasn't even true. It's just propaganda. It's just lies and false realities that they promote on a daily basis.
But what about the drugs now? I ain't heard nothing about the drugs yet.
Yeah, well, that will be forgotten. When the drugs coming into America doesn't stop, yeah, it will be forgotten that the whole point apparently was to stop the drugs.
Yeah.
So,
but now it's all about the oil.
Yeah.
You know?
Because they tell so many lies, yeah, that by the time you get to 2-3 months from now, and the lies come to, there's new lies that you got to deal with. So you forget about everything that they've said.
It's well, because didn't it come out basically the whole Iran bombing? That was all cap. Like the lady did drop. It was like not even happened.
No, but at the time they're gonna, because America has, beginning with Trump, have mastered the art of spectacle. That's what it is. They know how to make everything into a spectacle. So you focus on the spectacle, and before you can even think about the repercussions of what's real or what ain't real, there's another spectacle that you now have to, and Trump will say something or do something, and you just, he said this. He's a master. Trump is not a real bad man. He's a master of creating the spectacle of a man. Fans are looking at him like he actually did something, like he's King David. He went out there and he did something any different than what Biden could do. Some old cripples. They just say like they don't make the decisions, man. You think Trump was there? Trump Trump was there like drawing up the
Yeah,
plans.
smart enough.
Come on, man. Let's what are we doing here? But they don't mind portraying it that way because it's a spectacle. Oh, Trump was sitting there watching it while it was happening. Isn't that the same thing they said with Obama when they got Bin Laden? It's the same thing they do that they just put on repeat and then put it on the TV for people to just swallow. They told you that it's a regime change, but the regime hasn't changed. How is the if I go into Man United, right? Which I obviously I wouldn't do this. Let's say Amarim was still in there, yeah, and I went into Man United, yeah, and I just gripped him by the neck here, dragged him out of the, yeah, as you should, yeah, dragged him out by his neck, yeah, dragged him out by his neck. I wouldn't do this, and just remove him, and then I say, yeah, we've changed the regime at Man United. Yeah, but I left his assistant coach. I left all of his staff and everything is still there. And now the assistant coach is just going to be carrying on what he was doing. Same tactics, same everything. How have I done regime change? So even that is happening so fast that people can't even stop to say, wait, hold on, wait. What you've done isn't actually what you said you've done. And a lot of this spectacle, give it a month, you probably look back and say, actually, they didn't really do everything that he's saying he's doing. Because they're saying they're going to rule Venezuela. But how? He never really gave no details. They gave very vague terms. But
I remember him saying one thing, right? Because obviously the vice president is dead, right? And this is how gangster Trump or America's been, right? Because they're suggesting that person step down, right? Because they're going to find themselves having, bigger problems to deal with, right?
okay.
And so, that's gonna.
So what you're saying is it's not over.
It's not over,
Right. So
Because they have to sit down or do elections again or whatever. That's
right. So in a way, and they're not, but they said they're not going to have no elections. They said that they're ruling Venezuela. When he first came out, what he said is we're ruling Venezuela.
taking over.
And I'm like, you kidnapped the president. That doesn't mean you're ruling anything. Because if you come out your house in Venezuela, nothing's actually changed. The same policemen, the same military. The military's not gone nowhere. The same generals. The administration is exactly the same, just that the brave and his wife is gone. So how are you ruling it? They can't rule it. This is what people don't know. They could do an embargo, but what people don't realize is that if they step foot in Venezuela, that's that's Vietnam. Unless you're gonna nuke it. Yeah, they could do that. They could nuke it. Yeah, that's why. But then you would have no resources. If you're talking about boots on the ground and actually going and taking out all the regimes and then putting all the people down, how long did that take in Iraq? How long did that take in Afghanistan? The majority of those militias, they gave guns to. These men have AKs and they're used to the jungle. There's nothing but jungles and hills. Same with Colombia. Them places ain't places that you just send in troops and yeah, we own it now. Bro, you're going to be fighting a guerrilla warfare from now until the kingdom comes. And it's just bare Americans getting ambushed here from just crazy Jakes. All you see is an eye open up. Them crazy Jakes. All you see is an eye open up. And then them men are gone. It's not that simple what they're talking about. And really what this is going to show is America's not really as powerful as they're saying. They're making it when you look at the spectacle of it, it looks like, oh, they're really powerful. But they're not, because Venezuela is kind of still how it was before.
So if I could add as well, if you look back as well at the whole Iran thing, it was the whole story behind that was similarly
It's spectacle. It was spectacle.
They were saying, oh yeah, we had the B-52, the bombers, they didn't stop all night long, they were flying. And it's like, oh shit, when you're hearing these stories,
But they're still there.
you believe them. Like you're like, yo, how can you come up against this man?
So I thought they were supposed to be installing some.
No, they said they're not. They're not going to do that. The woman, she said, he said no. This is what I'm saying, is a lot of bullshit. Because he said, no, we're not putting her in. Because he can't. Yeah. He can't just from America say she's president now. Because
No, but I thought they were gonna run again or something.
How do you do that? How do you do that?
By making that one step down.
How do you do that?
By threatening. So they just threatened to assassinate her.
Okay, and then if you assassinate her, then all the other people that's around her, they will just step in.
Yeah, but they're not going to want to if they can keep getting assassinated.
Then if they don't want to, then why did she step down now?
Yeah, I don't know. That's what I mean. But I thought that's what they
It's not that easy. It sounds good, But if that was the case, Maduro would have just stepped down from way before, but he didn't. It all sounds very easy, innit? Oh, we just told them to step down and they'll just step down. No, bro. There's bear man now already. They know that. Listen, bro, you come into Venezuela. I'm not going into obscurity, so I'm dying for this. And I've already programmed my people that if the next man come in, they're working with America, so you need to kill them.
That's what Trump said. It was like Mercado, this Mercado chick. He was like she hasn't got the respect to go in.
Bro, a lot of them people in Venezuela loved Chavez, and I believe what's her name? Oh, what is it? She's related. Is she related to him or one of his generals? Like the actual girl that's the vice president. She's linked in. Like her family is like the people love them. They're like patriots to these people. So it's not that easy to just say, "Oh, step down, bro." Them man are gonna still be working behind the scenes against you. And then so it's a simple case of, right, you're doing elections, man are gonna come and blow up the ballot box, bro. It's not like they're good. It's not. These men are making it sound so simple. It sounds real simple. Oh, just step down and we'll just put our people straight in there. Now, well, it would have happened already. Really, what's gonna happen is they're gonna have to keep that. They're gonna have to basically keep Venezuela on the siege. Just try and stop the oil tankers coming out of Venezuela. But to put truth, to really take control of Venezuela, they're gonna have to go in there and clear out all the men that don't like them.
Good luck.
Good luck, because are they ready for that? Because it ain't gonna be like when the air defense is only gonna get turned off so many times. Because also, what's happening now is the traitors that betrayed Miss Majorita allegedly, they're being hunted right now. So now you're in a situation where the double agents you had and the man you managed to pay off, they're not gonna die. Same thing what happened in Iran. Iran had all them double agents. They're dead now. So now, like, these are the kind of things that you can really only do so many times, because every time you do it, that man are like, oh, so you sold man out. All right, cool, you're dead. Now you need to go get new man. And it's not that easy, because really the man that's left, really the man that did it for himself. So, like I said, with these geopolitical things, it's very easy to jump to conclusions because they make a big spectacle about things. But let's look at what's actually happening, what we know is happening right now. They've got a blockade on Venezuela for the oil, and they have the president of Venezuela, because that same vice president has declared that he's still the president. What does that tell you? Defiance. So it's not exactly what they tried to make it look like when it was a kidnapping. It was a successful kidnapping, and well done on that. But you didn't fucking take down the whole country, and now if you say turn that red light on, the red light's gonna turn on, or you say do this, that's gonna get done. No, right now you've actually made it where, because you've done that, you've emboldened them to say, see, these men are here to kill us. These men are now, man, are like, okay, when them man come, they step foot over here, it's gonna be a madness. And a lot of us are gonna die, but guess what? A lot of you are gonna die. Vietnam, but on steroids. So this is gonna get very interesting going forward.
So Jeremiah 50:23. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How has Babylon become its desolation among the nations?
This thing might end up being a thing which shows that America is becoming weak.
So if I can say as well, the people that got shot or killed or whatever with the whole ICE agents or something like that, they are now saying that they will relate to some Venezuelan gang or some shit like that. It's in the chat.
Oh, with the ICE gun down.
Yeah, with the ICE gun down. I posted it in the chat. That was like they're from a Venezuelan gang. You know.
And
well, any man that is the king does not have to say that they are the king.
Well, I was gonna say this well because obviously the guys that got gunned down in the operation with Venezuela was Cuba as well. You know, so they're trying to implicate Cuba in the whole thing as well.
And they can do that. But are they gonna go and invade Cuba too?
And Greenland.
See, the thing is, America does have a great military might. Don't get that twisted. But they've overplayed their hand. They don't have the ability to fight all these wars, and these wars aren't a simple thing. Yet, if the war is just going to be wiping the country off the face of the planet, they could do that. But if the war is to actually occupy the country, bro, we've seen that they failed. They failed in Iraq. They failed in Afghanistan, because at the end of the day, if the locals ain't with you, it's peak.
Because if you could say that's what they said about Russia and how Russia lost Syria, because Russia was too busy in certain of these other places. And then when basically Israel came to do their thing, it was too like Russia was overextended.
That's it.
You know,
And so this, like I said, this thing that they're doing is really the death throes of an empire. And
Well, saying what Rome used to do.
yeah, and
People
Trump
like
is they're gonna talk it up like this really shows how powerful they are. But a lot of people are looking at this like it actually shows how weak you are and how vulnerable you are. That this is what you had to resort to. Basically, you putting them on the seas to try and take oil, like a little bandit, like little pirates off the shore, trying to steal little tankers as they're coming offshore.
but then they complain about the Somalian pirates.
Yeah, they've
Yeah.
turned into a nation of bandits, bro.
And it, once again, the hypocrisy of this Edomite, because when the first before Maduro got caught and they took the first oil tanker, they were trying to be like, oh, it's not piracy because of XYZ reason. But it's piracy.
It's piracy.
You
It
took
doesn't
something
belong
that
to
weren't yours.
you. It doesn't belong to you. I mean, let's keep going in the scriptures.
Of Nahum 3:1. Woe to the blood seat. It is all full of lies and robbery. They prayed, but it's not.
The bloody city, lies and robbery. That's what they're all about. They've been about that. And they're declaring it openly now. Yeah, did you still have that precept again?
Well,
Reading it. Is that it? Is it finished on that?
I didn't really finish it.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, let me finish it. Back in Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 11 says, "Let our strength be the law of justice, for that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth." Right. So again, they don't expect those that are weaker than them
Yeah, people think
to
that
take advantage.
America is serious about going to war with Europe, but then, you know what that would do to the America would collapse in on itself if they went to war with Europe. It's theater. It's all bravado on the TV. They're not serious. What you think they're gonna go to war against? It's not that. Not like that. It's not. It's what I'm saying. The spectacle of it. It sounds good, isn't it? Oh, Trump. Yeah.
Sensational.
It's sensational. But they're not going to go to war against Europe for Denmark. A deal is going to be made behind the scenes, and it's going to come to an agreement because it suits everyone. Because no one really cares about fucking Denmark, Greenland anyway. No one cares. But it makes or Denmark. But it makes for good television. It makes for good distraction, and it creates chaos in the minds of the people. Oh, and that fear and that chaos, they could work with that. Like, what the hell, Greenland? Like, who gives a fuck? Like,
And the thing, it came out something like they already have access to military bases.
yeah. So the whole thing is again a spectacle, right?
And where's America getting this money to own it? They're fucked. They're fucked.
Well, you see that they're not. He's now then, and this is the insanity because he was meant to be reducing the budget, right? Reducing the deficit. The tariffs were supposed to be reduced. It's not.
This is mad.
So he's taxing the American public through the tariffs, right? Because most of the tariffs is being paid by the American public, right? Then he's telling you you're going to get a tax rebate. So he's giving you back your own money that you're going to spend and get taxed on again, right? And now he's saying he's going to up the fucking military budget from 1 trillion to 1.5 trillion.
It's insane.
What about the people?
Bro, the military industrial complex has been winning. So not only has, since Trump came in, the EU, they doubled their expense budget. Now America's like putting it up by a third. So who's really winning in all this? The people that you don't see. But they have to have these political games play out, so you don't see that really what they've done is they're just giving more money to the military industrial complex. However, this is good because all that grading of the military is going to lead into what we want, which is the World War. That's really what the Lord has them doing. But they know what they're doing, man. They're playing games with the people. They're coming up with excuses to put more money into the military industrial complex.
Meanwhile, nothing's improving at home.
Nothing. That money should be going into the American people.
Like the roads, the hospitals, the schools.
Yeah, like
On the tariff thing as well, I find it interesting because in the same breath where Trump's government is saying that like tariffs are going to be good for the people, the EU just is about to ratify the Mercosur agreement, which is a big trade bloc between Latin America and the EU, like free trade. And then in those in that what you call it, a report, and it's like, yeah, it's gonna make things cheaper, removing tariffs and stuff. So this, so it's like,
So really, what Trump was doing is he was destroying the American
Yeah.
people, and this is the crazy thing about the TV. These men speak in double speak. Trump is there to demolish America. That's exactly what he's doing. Everything he's doing is demolishing America and leading America to paint America as the bad guy. The reason why you need a new world order is because we can't have America.
Out of control.
We can't have this crazy. We need a multipolar world and a one world government. This is what they're setting up, but they think they're going to be able to control this narrative, but they're not, because the Lord is going to put the spirit on man over there in the Middle East to take this thing too far, and it's going to go too far, and that's what we're waiting for. Trump don't give a damn about the American people, man. Like, come on, that money, bro. Do you know what you could do with $500 billion?
Bro, it's mad. That's what I was going to take the piss at you people, man.
Taking the
Taking the
piss.
piss, the very, you know.
we always do this every couple of months, but it's like the human mind can't fathom the billion.
That amount, yeah.
Just let alone a billion, let alone 500. It's like our minds really can't think of numbers that big. We know it's a big number, but it's just like, how do we
Quickly check up the GDP of the UK.
Bro, this incident they've had in Venezuela, right? The cost for moving all those troops and keeping them there is 18 million a day. So far, that entire operation is $600 million. This operation in Venezuela.
But apparently, from what Trump was saying, well, they would have been somewhere else in the world anyway. If they, having to pay this amount of money. But this just shows you how big that fucking thing is, man.
Yep.
How much they spend on warfare all the time.
And all that stealing they're doing, the American people are not going to get none of it. They're not going to share the spoils. Those spoils, we'll tell you what's going to happen if it happens. If they manage, which is I highly doubt it, in the course of time, they're even going to get over it. But if it did happen, what would happen is the American government would take money from the treasury, give it to the oil companies, because they're not going to want to do it with their own money, because it's a massive
it's insurance.
Insurance risk. Not only that, but what if another president came in, and whatever.
Yeah.
So they go over there, they're going to let the government give them money to do it. Then what's going to happen is they're always going to give them tax breaks, so they don't pay no tax. Right? So all that money, then they're going to have external contractors from Russia as well. So what's going to happen is all that money that they would have made really just goes to private hands and doesn't actually go back in to pay off the debt. You know who's going to be paying for that debt? The American people. That's how the game goes.
Psalms,
Yeah.
From the top. It's Psalms 140 from the top, and it says, "Deliver me, O Lord, from the evil man. Preserve me from the violent man."
The violent man. Why is it that Jake gets labeled as violent? Oh, they're violent. They're just monkeys. But Esau's not violent. Esau has industrialized violence. You spend so much money on the military. And the worst thing about it is, see that $1 trillion that they spend on the military, they don't know where most of that goes. The Pentagon don't know where the money's going. It's a black hole, and then the Doge thing was meant to fix all that. Oh, wait. Can anyone find those? What's that all about?
There was a Senate hearing a couple years back, where there was just a bag of bushels, like mechanical bushels or whatever, right? It cost $90,000. $90,000 for a bag of basically mush, like you go.
You
buy
can
something
get
else.
eBay's £1.53.
$90,000.
So then you know what it is, right? When whoever makes that, when whoever makes that is a millionaire now, right? He's gonna look at the Negro that's getting EBT and say, niggas are on EBT. They're worthless. They don't contribute nothing to the economy. Meanwhile, he's getting EBT. He's getting EBT because them government contracts are over bloated on purpose, so he could get that money. You see how the game works? But then he could walk around with his chest out because he's not on EBT. He is on EBT. He's getting EBT another way. So here it is. You've got a black hole already in the defense budget, right? Instead of fixing that black hole and finding where all this waste is, and then use that money, you're going to add to that black hole.
Wickedness.
So that all that money can leak out to the brethren and they could go live in Dubai. See how the game works? And then American people will sit there and clap like seals and say Trump is saving America. It's insane. That's why America is due to be destroyed, because it's filled with lies, deceit, mischief, and it's insanity. anyone that's got a sane brain that can stay focused on what's happening, it's like, this is insane.
And it says, which imagined mischiefs in their heart continually are they gathered together for war.
They're constantly in war. They're constantly having to justify that military-industrial complex, man. That's making these elites rich. It's a way of redistributing wealth to the elites. Do you know what I'm saying? Them operations cost a lot of money, man.
Because it's like when you think about the F-35 program on its own, rather when you just think about an F-35 flight, one, it's it's not several hundred million for that one jet. Then you got to fuel it, means you got to have a whole infrastructure to refuel it in the air, right? Then you got to pay them pilots. Even the helmet is custom made, so there's only one per pilot, right? To the point, so then that means if it's custom made, that means it's expensive, right? So everything about the missions ain't cheap, man.
Training.
Oh, like and this is why you will always say, like, alleged from what they put out, right? For that one mission, it would have been like 5 or 6, like what aircraft, like type warships, rather is the better word.
Bro, it probably cost like $1 billion so far for this whole thing. I know, what did they get? Like, apparently they got them 50 million barrels of oil that they're gonna give back to the Venezuelan people.
And the thing you start to understand, man, the only way America can keep its place in the world as the top dog is by warring people, oppressing others. That's the only way it can stay where it's at. But it's not necessary. These nations don't want, you know, it was used to say, oh, they're jealous about freedoms and shit. What the fuck?
That's why they're blowing them.
Right?
And then the worst thing about it is, like, the reality is that who actually benefits is the multinational corporations at the top. It's not and these people are not American patriots. I know Elon likes to talk about how he's I'm American now. He's patriot. But patriotism is something that only exists for poor people. Like the super elite are not patriots.
They don't send their sons to war.
They're like they just get the money where the money's there to get. They'll go anywhere. They'll be in Monaco this week.
They capitalists.
They do their thing,
man. They don't got no allegiance. That's why they got a house. And shows and
this is the
or whatever. They don't care.
And this is the reason why when Trump was coming into power, what he was saying, a lot of what he was saying was true, and it resonated with the people. That America, the average America, was sold out because America was a producer, and then they became a consumer because the corporations were trying to make more profit by getting the slave labor abroad, and they sold out the American people. They gutted the American people. And they redistributed the wealth to themselves. And this is why America is at the point of crisis and the people are crying out for a savior, because that happened. The problem they're having is that they thought that Trump was there to change all that, but he's not. He's there to continue that system, because really the people who you think are patriotic are only saying that. They're not really patriots. They don't care about America as a country. Oh, America. No, what they care about is themselves. They want you to care about America so you can put up with your enslavement there. Really, if you're an American and you could go live somewhere else in the world and live a better lifestyle, you should really be doing that.
Yeah.
You shouldn't really be caring about being an American. It's a made-up thing. They made it up.
American dream.
Because they don't. If you notice, a lot of rich men are leaving. Like the UK, they're not patriotic. They go into Dubai and all that. They live in there. They don't care about all that stuff. They go where they can live the best.
Yeah, I thought I heard it.
That was my phone.
So I looked up that one F-35. So it says a related metric often cited is cost per flight hour, an important component of annual spend, around 30,000 to 40,000 per flight hour for the F-35.
And they're not. And another thing that people have been saying about the American military, and don't get it twisted, the American military is powerful. But what they're finding out is that what they're spending isn't really bringing back the dividends. Meaning, like, for instance, like, look how effective the Iranians were with just some cheap drones. Because to be effective in war doesn't necessarily mean you spend the most money. And this is the thing, is that the American military is massive, but it's a lot of waste. Like, the F-35 is not a great airplane. So you spending more on those airplanes and you got less of them.
Yeah.
Why don't you make an airplane that actually functions
Quality.
and quality, and you spend less and you have more of them?
Yeah, that's the Russian model.
That's the Russian model.
Maybe,
It's a better
maybe,
model.
maybe go green. Maybe go electric.
So you got people saying, "Oh, China's scared now because of or Trump, Big Daddy Trump is bro." China's not scared. China's laughing. I was like, "Bro, you're gonna go waste another 500, half a trillion. That's not gonna make your military any better. It's not. It's dead
They're
because
the same old
they're
shit.
just gonna spend it on some high tech crap here that doesn't actually work in real life.
But smart people are not in America.
But the money's there." So you waste the money. When you don't have a lot of money to spend, you make things work. You do the best with what you have. Having too much money, like you just end up spending bare money for nothing, for no reason. Overspend.
Yeah.
And that's what's gonna happen. Right now, them men are like, yo, what
So
bullshit can we just
We're always stopping good here.
yeah. what theoretical weapon can we get
Yeah,
these
yeah,
men to fucking spend
Investing,
you know, laser beam and death ray. I got a death ray I can sell you.
Yeah.
Hey, yo, you might have to. You
yeah.
know what I mean? We got a death ray app, yeah.
Well, we say there was in Ukraine a year or two ago, I forget whether it was the Patriot missile system or whatever, but basically it's like each time one of those air defense, because imagine you've got the way it works, so you imagine just like an array of guns, if you will, right? Each of them are firing a missile, but each of those missiles aren't free.
Yeah, of course.
But then the thing is, they've always got to fight because they don't know whether that's a bogey, they don't know whether that's a what do you call it, a real missile or not. So in one real decent attack, you can pretty much cost millions,
And you need to make more. But that's what was happening to the Israelis.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
were being overwhelmed
Yeah.
with them cheap drones.
Yeah.
And then the money was just piling up.
That's the basic flaws of air defense systems, that as they are the ones that they tell you about today, right? Is that you need loads of different missiles to basically try and intercept, but it's very easy to overwhelm them. So that's why, like for instance, a lot of modern missiles will have decoys. So they will fly, will send out loads of different things. Now the air defense systems, like shit, what do I prioritize? Where do I go? What exactly? But then I don't know if you brothers saw the Oreshnik the other day. Russia's
Oh no.
yeah, but basically they dropped a few of them in Ukraine.
Oh yeah.
Lviv or something like that. Lviv or something like that. And you see that, Shane, it's like, look, you ain't stopping that. You know.
Listen, we're seeing the death throes of an empire.
Yeah.
We're watching the scriptures come to pass, man. America's really at its end. And all this, it's gonna go out with spectacle. It's gonna go out with his chest out, acting like it's the big wig and still, but really, like, no, you're not. This is just you. The death throes, man. Your weakness is being seen by the nations. Like Russia's like, okay, China's like, okay, like that's what you man did. All right. Ooh. Delta Force. Why don't you go take Putin?
Come, Syria.
If these Delta Force man are so raw, then Putin, go take Putin out, man. Yeah. Oh, no, because that man was dying.
This is the point.
Live on there.
But this is the point we've been making, though. America is a bully, right? Someone of relatively equal standing, he ain't gonna go do that.
Yeah.
He ain't gonna run to try and do that shit.
Bro, the thing is, if you were that big and bad, you wouldn't have to do this. You would. This is the thing. You don't have to do that. You could just make a deal that suits both of you, that they could get money out of, and it's fine. We're cool. No, man, don't want war anyway. It was like, yo, you get some, we get some, and we can make it happen. This is what I'm saying. These bully tactics and all this bullshit is just bravado. It's just false bravado, and you see it. Yeah, we're the mighty ones. Bro, you're gonna die by that. You live by the gun, you die by the gun. That's what the scriptures say.
Yep, because you're talking about these nations and weaponry. So Joel 3 from verse 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong.
Right. All these nations, they got something. They're not completely helpless. And like I said, what we didn't see was a complete invasion and takeover of Venezuela. That's what we didn't see. Because really, it wouldn't have been over in an hour, 4 hours, because their military is still intact. They got a military. They got a militia.
And it's sick.
They actually have air defense. It's just that
it's shut down.
they got air defense. They switched them fuckers on. Them helicopters weren't going to be going in there like that.
And it was what we was speaking about before the camp last week. Where I'm just like reasoning on it is you're gonna have certain mans that say maybe they didn't like Maduro like that, but they damn sure ain't gonna want no Americans.
Yeah, this is the thing.
Yeah.
Well, they have to do all kind of AI videos.
Yeah.
Try to make it look like everyone in Venezuela is cheering.
But so that's something because they showed that with I forgot what it was, but it was like there was a point where you had the European leaders all like coming together and pretending to be in solidarity. When never believe shots that are close-ups. When the news is reporting like a mass protest, never believe shots because it's like if it's a shot like this, you can't really tell that it's only a wall of 3 man deep. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. That Hollywood
thing, because that's what it showed, and they showed that what was it? It was like a Hillary Clinton one had that where it was like the videos were close up, so you thought there was a lot of people in the crowd, but when you see from the other angle, there was like only a couple man in the thing, right? So that's one of the things in that, like you saw, you didn't really see any sky shots or anything. Because remember when London was protesting against whole Palestine thing, you had aerial shots, and it was packed. You saw mans everywhere, right? So why would you know what I'm saying?
Doctor just as easy, though.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and
You can't identify nothing out there. People see.
you're gonna get Venezuelans that in America that don't rate Maduro and are happy about it. But that don't mean that's a whole. Okay, there was man that was happy about Saddam. Then the man went over and get hit with AADs, bro. Every 2 seconds, bro.
But and that's if I said that's something that I've kind of seen with other immigrants, rather of the diaspora, where the ones that live here, they're not happy with the workings of things back home. But it's because they're here.
But that happened with Assad. There's Syrian man that didn't like Assad. That don't mean every man don't rate, man. That don't mean that they want America to come in. Anyway, let's keep the presets rolling. Esau's finished, man. That's what we're here to really tell you that. Listen, man, seek your Hawashai, because all the spectacle that you're seeing, that's how Esau's going to go out. He's going to go out with bravado. He's going to go out like he's the guy. And that's what you're seeing with America. America's sticking its chest out and saying,
on his show,
that means they're about to go out. That means they're weak. When they got to do all this, that means you're being threatened, bro. That means that the time is near for you to fall. And it's coming.
Revelation 12:12. And it reads, therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that ye have but a short time.
You see Apostle Tahar bringing out the video with the veteran saying, yeah, America's a third world country now. It is.
You know who that was, isn't it? Just even told.
Oh,
yeah.
He's a wrestler, right? Well, it's funny.
I thought he died, you know. That's why I was checking out myself.
But
he's got beer, but he's got beer in there, isn't it?
Well, you know, it's funny because he was down there in the bushes fighting aliens.
Because them type of videos.
Yeah, no, he was in Predator.
Oh, yeah, he was.
Oh,
I don't believe
it.
Him in the mustache. Yeah. I want time to bleed.
Yeah, that was hard. So. Anyway, so America, and it's not just the Republicans, it's the Democrats. The American establishment over the years have been creating a police state, militarized police. And then what happens is the left-right psychosis is the right will do something, the left will disagree with it. And they use that beef to push it through. Then the left will come in, continue it. But now the left man are with it. Because they have no morals. Because what the left-right paradigm does is it demoralizes you. It puts you in a situation where you invest in the lesser of two evils. So when your side is doing evil, you justify it. And when the other side is doing evil, you point it out. So most of these Democrats are upset with Trump because Trump did it. Trump invaded Venezuela. He's a dictator. But then when Biden was doing it, or when Big Daddy Obama was doing it, these same guys didn't have nothing to say. But then the right was upset. Oh, see, Obama, he's a new world order. He's trying to, and they're all losing their mind. And then Trump does it, and then now the right is clapping.
They were getting Biden for taking troops out of Afghanistan.
Yeah.
Because it should. What a waste. Should have stayed until the job was finished.
Oh yeah, but then now they say Trump is a peace president.
Yeah.
So the whole thing is America's one big psychological operation where everybody's demoralized and confused. They have no morals. Yeah, if that woman that got shot by ICE, yeah, let's say it was the Democrats that were in power, right? And same kind of government officials shot a right-wing activist, yeah, the right-wingers would be like, oh, they're patriots, don't tread on me, all this shit. But because it's the other way around, they're happy about it. And the left, vice versa. These people have no morals. But this is what they've done. They've demoralized the people. But one thing that is the same is the mechanisms of authority and control grow. They get added to, like Lego. You know, when you just add one piece to another. DHS, or a billion flipping hollow point rounds. Them hollow point rounds ain't gone nowhere.
It was like over a decade ago.
They ain't gone nowhere, which means they still have that. Yeah?
More.
Yeah? Jade Helm 15.
They even made a game to Al-Azhar, just disappeared. So I had to,
I don't know where they were.
I don't know where they were. So I had to.
Some hollow points for ball.
Yeah.
We already showed you that ICE, right? It's just when they did this whole thing with Venezuela and the drugs and all, they have a mechanism, a police state mechanism, where you have the military, got Five Eyes, which is Skynet. Five Eyes is Skynet, right? So you got the counterterrorism branch, which they created because of 9/11, was them basically bypassing freedom. Yeah, creating this whole new because it really should be military and the police.
Yeah.
But now you got terrorism, which is something that's kind of in the middle. Yeah. So what is it really? So then now you got a situation where the police, counterterrorism, and the military are being fused into one.
National Guard, ICE agent.
And that's ultimately what's going to happen is the whole apparatus in the end is going to become one apparatus, which is going to be over the American people. And so the ICE thing is easy to run the ICE program. But the ICE program isn't about deportation. They haven't done mass deportations because guess what? It's not about deportations. It's about setting up a police force and setting the precedent that I can grab a man. I can grab a man and disappear him. And send him to some gulag somewhere, and I don't have to tell no one about it. And I can just say, well, he didn't have an ID.
And that's the equivalent to like Germany's stuff. Yeah,
Gestapo.
yeah.
But
SS crews. And
you
all that
need
shit.
people to agree with it when you bring it in. So as usual, you need to find a group that you could target and say, well, this is for them. So all these concentration camps you're bringing in, oh, well, it's not for us. It's for the illegals. Not understanding that in the end, it's really it's just an infrastructure. It's just the infrastructure. So they can flip that infrastructure from just and then just have it be for you. And now what they've done is now they're showing you more and more. They're now getting people who are actually citizens. But guess what? Instead of the right and all Americans standing up together and saying, wait, hold on.
Let's resist this.
You can't just be grabbing up American citizens like this. The left, right paradigm. So now they'll have them man arguing backward and forward about it. So instead of being united against it, they're divided about it.
The whole question is, what is an American now? You know what I mean?
What kind of American?
Because wherever they're from, wherever they are from the world, if they're American citizens, by law, that's what they are. But now people questioning what does even mean.
Oh, the UK, the Shamima Begum. They told you in the UK that two 15-year-old Bangladeshis from Bangladesh decided to travel all the way to fucking Syria. Come on, illegally as well. So you're going for all kind of mad ways to become an ISIS wife. Bro, where from them?
Why the fuck?
They ain't no 15-year-old Bangladeshi girl,
Can you get on a flight on your own?
No, because it turned out it was a intelligence agent that helped them get over there. That they actually released that information because guess what? It's a fucking psyop. No 15-year-old Bangladeshi girl that's listening to Movado, Anyway,
Exactly. And
right.
Hussein's trying to pop.
Hussein from Syria is like, come to Syria, so I can just bang you. He's like, that sounds like something that I could do, and I'm just gonna go on a perilous journey through Europe to go to a war zone.
Come on.
And people believed it. Oh yeah, that sounds reasonable. No 15-year-old 4'2" Bangladeshi girl is doing that. Bro. No one, like you won't find one. These are agents. This is a setup because they want the whole argument to be, well, you're a British citizen, but you've joined a terrorist group, a foreign terrorist group. So now we strip you of your citizenship. And because you're Asian already, it's all part of the game. Because you're Asian already, a lot of people are going to be like, yeah, fuck her. Not understanding that what you set precedent for is you've just stripped someone of their British citizenship.
Yeah, because law is all about precedent.
If she has committed a crime, she should be brought back to Britain, good old Britain that we love and enjoy, right? And be tried on the criminal court proceedings with the jury of her peers. And if she's found guilty in the court of law, she should be imprisoned in the UK because she's broken a UK law. Stripping her of her citizenship, it's insane. But it's a precedent. So then now if you can do that to her, then maybe you might do that to a left winger. Yeah, he's a left winger and he's a lefty. Oh, okay, so if you could do it to a lefty, then do it to a right.
London Mayor.
And now you could do it to anyone. You could turn their chip off.
No.
Hey, hold this chip. Oh, wait, that person, he's not in the agreement. He's violating the terms of agreement for the UK, so just turn his chip off. He's no longer a citizen. Furthermore to that, send out the drones, man. Let man go. And this is where it's going.
Revelation 13:11, and I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon.
The 2 horns is that left-right paradigm that they got you thinking they're against each other, but they're not. Biden and Trump do 69 together, man. P. Diddy style. They suck each other off, man. These men are brethren, but their job is to get the American public divided because they can use that then to bring in all their policies to get you to agree with shit you shouldn't be agreeing with because that Trump is your daddy or Biden's your daddy. But we, the Israelites, we only got one daddy, and he's in the heavens.
That's it.
So we don't worship no man. Yeah, we don't worship no man, blood. So if a man do something wrong, we can say that you're wrong. We ain't gonna follow no leader and blindly. But the Bible says, "Follow not a multitude to do evil, man." But that American society and the white man society is all about one side. I'm on this side, and whatever this side says to do, I'm with it.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's like there's nuance and stuff. I remember you both was talking about it earlier on, but it's like it is true because people ask you, "Oh, so you left or you right?" And it's like, well, there are certain policies, but not of us. We're not of that.
But the Bible says
we're above that.
Yeah,
man.
we're
the Bible
above
says
that.
go neither to the left.
Exactly. Exactly.
Straight.
Above all that.
But there are certain things, certain policies that they would say are quote unquote left wing policies that actually in the scriptures would be like, for instance, making sure that the poor are taken care of.
Yeah.
That will be seen as a left wing policy. But then on the other hand, because I can't say that, you
Yeah. Which the right is only like against outright.
outright, yeah.
Because they're a bunch of Batman man too.
Yeah, exactly.
The right are the most.
Yeah, they-
They're just the closeted individuals. Anyway, let's keep it. Huh? Revelation 12, right? Yeah, that's why the time of Jacob's trouble, is right around the corner. And don't get it twisted, they're going to start doing more false flags to do with you Jakes because they're already demonizing you Jakes as being part of the problem in America and part of the problem in UK. That is already out there in the atmosphere. And that's going to be a thing that they're going to address with prejudice too, with ICE. And they show you that in the movie in Peacemaker. In the new series, he goes to alternative universe and all the black people are in concentration camps. In America. No, it's true. It's in a Peacemaker. Because they're the problem. They're 13%.
Yeah, there was a supposed attack that they foiled for New Year's. That was just a straight up Jake.
Yeah, and then again, when you're bringing in the whole terrorism thing, if you're calling cartels terrorists, then a fucking gang can be deemed as a terrorist organization. And then technically, if a gang is working with the cartel, then they're also extensions of that because you're doing business with a terrorist organization. So then you can start using counter-terrorism against the gangs.
Well, the same thing, your citizens can be stripped to know, the things you're talking about,
And under terrorism, you can kill American citizens because guess what? They killed Anwar al-Awlaki. They assassinated him, and he was an American citizen, and they didn't give him no due process. And that was a precedent set. Oh, you mean we can kill Americans?
Under this circumstance, yeah.
Okay.
So then we should make you that. So we,
You're Antifa. You know what I mean? You're black. You must be ID. Get him.
Book of Ecclesiasticus 12:16. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit.
All this time we've had, ever since from the beginning where they gave Jake civil rights and all that, they were always preparing for the time where they were going to depopulate and chip you. That was it. It was all like, okay, we need to keep these niggas dumbed down, destroyed, and quiet till we can get a point where we can get them under full control. We can chip their brains, chip them, and put them in cages. That's been their goal. They just been waiting. Like, that's why they had the whole political correctness era. These people didn't care about that. Now they're coming out of that era. But that was all a ruse to make niggas think that things were going to change for them.
Well, just like it goes and say, it tends to help you. It's all false pretense why he's doing it to you.
The Democrats.
You know?
Democrats ain't on your side. Bill Clinton wrote the crime bill. Oh, sorry, Biden. The Democrats ain't never been on Jake's side, but then neither are is the Republicans. They're all against
The
you.
liberals.
And the day's gonna come real soon where the real madness of it, the more the spectacle goes, people are gonna get caught up in spectacle, they're gonna get caught up in hysteria, witchcraft, and the bloodlust is gonna come out and they're gonna justify things happening. Just like how you got Edomite men justifying a white woman getting blazed in the face, bro. That's crazy. In America. And they're reveling in it. And when you look at this, which that whole thing's fake, by the way, if you didn't know. That whole thing is a complete Hollywood production. Perfectly. Like, she was 33. They were on the 33rd Street. Oregon is the 33rd state. The whole thing is oozing with occultism.
Oh, and I think even her name means like rebirth.
Yeah, and the name's got double E, which is 33 as well. And and then also the guy had 33 stitches from the same event. Also happened the same place where George Floyd psyop occurred. And then you had the riots the same way you had the George Floyd. It's basically the witchcraft, right? But if you look at the mindset that now a lefty is the same as being a nigger now. The way a nigger lover, you die for the niggas, kill him. Bloodlust. They had the other agent saying, "We just executed one of you yesterday." Unhinged. That's crazy. Like, no. Some white woman just tried to drive away. A man shot her in the face 3 times. Like, what did she? Oh, she tried to run him over, bro. Man's supposed to be a grown ass man. You know how many man's wife tried to run them over properly?
Yeah, for real.
Man, I've seen man shake that off. Bro, I've seen Jake. I'm sorry, one thing here. When she ran over to Jake, Jake's on the car. She done madness, drove off. Jake just got up and walked away. Like, yo, that bitch crazy, bro. Bro, come on. Go online right now, yeah? You're going to see a million videos of some crazy Latina or something trying to run her boyfriend over. A man just moved. Like, hey. This dude put a 3 in her face.
Come on.
Now, legally, he's gonna bust case because the technicality, there's a car and it could be a weapon and all this crap, like the Cobra situation all over again. But the point is that there's no compassion. These men are supposed to be Christians. Where's all the Christian compassion? She's a mother, you know. No, they're not. Fuck that bitch. She's an agitator, Antifa. Oh, so what do you think it's gonna be like if Trump or whoever, they say, you know what, Chicago, there's been madness going on over there. We're gonna send in the troops out. They're gonna be the same way. Yeah, kill them niggas. Grandma getting shot. Yeah, fuck grandma too. Like, yeah, get them. Monkey third worlder. For the bloodlust, man. They're on a demon time. Sure. Now you might say, "Oh, that can't happen. It's human rights." But really,
Trump said he don't need international law, blood. Yeah. So he's like, I don't care about all of that.
He said, "Might is right, man. If you've got the power to do it, and when you love power, when you fall in love with power is all that matters. This is where you get." The state is about to go buck wild against the people, man.
So you hold us up.
Because just coming, because just because they only say he will whip with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood.
Well, the bloodlust is coming, man. And they're gonna have events happen little white girls are getting killed. Right-wing white girls getting killed by a Jake somewhere for no reason. Some mentally ill Jake. There's like the girl on the train. And they're still running with that. And
Fake
it's
as
so
hell.
fake as fuck.
Fake.
But they're still running with that. The whole idea that the white man is there's only 30% white people left on the planet. Yeah, because you fucked anus, bro. Like,
30%.
what is that? We're a minority in our own. They're running that same program.
You fucking can't win a majority anyway. You fucking
Yeah, but they're a smaller majority.
You're
man.
cursed leprous dogs, man.
No, that's crazy. But it's everyone else's fault now. So now the victimhood, the white victimhood. So yeah, you gotta, this is what's coming, man, down the pipeline.
So, and
Um,
because even what you had that that young Somali chick or somewhat, she was young in America. She was basically just like cursing out Elon Musk, yeah. And it's like, well, she's probably like fucking 14, 15, however old.
And they're treating like she's a legit threat, like she's gonna kill.
Yeah, and it's like, and the thing is, if she got killed, they'd all be.
Yeah, they'll say she was a fucking
celebrate.
terrorist, she's just a Somali, she's just stealing. But now the whole thing is every Somalian is just doing fraud now.
Yeah.
No, forget about Mark Rich and them, man.
Yeah.
Forget about all the white boys that's been committing fraud. Mark Rich committed. Mark Rich.
You meant to forget, you got pardoned.
What was the Men in Black?
The biggest tax fraud scandal in American history. Mark Rich. But it's a Somalian. This is Somalia. And the whole daycare center thing, a lot of that was spooky too. Some of it's not even true. But it makes good propaganda, right? Oh, it's a Somalian. It's like, they got minor sub 70 IQs. Oh, shut up, man. Tired of these devils, man. The hills of IQ ass niggas, man. This guy.
Matthew 24, verse 12, and because of iniquity shall abound, right? And that's when these people get more wicked, more wicked, man.
Heartless morals.
Yeah.
They got no morals. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, you can clearly see that none of these people have any kind of moral principles. Their moral principles will change based upon whether it's Trump did it or Biden did it. If Biden starts a war, it's good. For the same reason, they're just stealing, right? But then if Trump does it, he's evil. You got no morals, and you can't deal with it. That's why the Bible says the congregation of the hypocrites it shall be flames, something of that nature. Yeah. Fire shall consume the congregation of the hypocrites and the tabernacles of Babylon. The word hypocrite means an actor. A hypocrite is someone that changes. And the whole system of Esau is based upon hypocrisy. The politicians are hypocrites. They show clips of people like Tulsi talking about how this you shouldn't invade Venezuela, how bad it is. And now she's saying, same with Elon. All these men will flip from one time to another. They'll say whatever they have to say, wear whatever mask or hat they need to wear on a particular day to do something. And the people are the same. You've got no morals. A moral person has morals all the time. If you don't believe in murder, then you don't believe in murder. You're not going to justify murder when it suits you and then when it don't. No, murder is murder. So for you, it's wrong. No, even if your brother did it, you'd be like, nah, you're wrong. That's called having morals. Like, I can't be like, oh, I'm against murder. You're a murderer. You're a murderer. You should die. And then my brother commits murder. Is that actually? It's my brother. Like, no.
Do this guy anyway.
Because that's how you end up with massive blood feuds. In the ancient world, if your brother committed murder, you have to deliver him up to the avenger of blood. Just the same way you'd expect if another man murdered your brother, they deliver him up to you. That's called having standards and integrity and morals. There ain't no morals in America, man. Flip and flop. They flip and flop, man. It's okay when my politician lies, but when your politician lies, it's not okay. No, maybe it's not okay to lie, but you got no morals. So all of them spread propaganda. All of them lie. It's a fucking joke, man. It's hypocrisy. It's acting. These Democrats don't care about this white girl that died, but it's the right act to do to care. Because I'm on the left, I should care.
It's part of the
Virtue
religion.
signaling.
It's part of the. But that's when I meditate sometimes on that left, right. In America specifically, the whole like for instance, you can be so-called Democrat, But if you're anti-abortion, you're not a right. You're not a good Democrat.
Yeah, you're not complete.
You're not complete. There's something wrong with you. Like in America, like to be a Democrat, you have to uphold everything of that the religion says.
Yeah.
The tenets of the. Yes, that's it. That's it. The tenets of the religion, basically.
It's a joke, Tim.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. And that's what you see.
They don't love. They
You see it, man.
don't
They
love
don't
out
care.
here. And love is the keeping of the
And
commandments.
these are all Christians, by the way.
Yeah.
Christian revival. Bullshit. Bullshit, man. All right? The fruits of the spirit don't exist in America. Neither on the left or on the right. They're fruits of the spirit. The Edomites don't have it.
That's the stupid thing about it. These men could be in church here, but some will be Democrats, some will be Republicans. But they split on this ideology. But but they're supposed to have all the the one God and love and this and that. But they're torn.
Their one God is
That's all, man.
Satan, man.
That's it.
And this is why this thing in Venezuela exposes them, because the left were doing it for the longest while with Obama and that, and the right were talking against it, and now the right is for it. They they were saying they don't want no more military intervention, and now they
What is it? Trump said he wasn't going to get involved in national beefs and all these things. Like, that's where he's everywhere now. He's literally fucking everywhere. Talking about all these different places
This
in
is
the
why
world
it's
now.
called
America
hypocrisy.
first. Where was this America first?
The congregation of the hypocrites. Trump is an actor. He actually is. I don't know why people don't realize that he's not a real human being. He's an actor. He literally was on TV acting.
Yeah.
He had multiple shows on TV. He was in WWE. He's still on a show right now.
Yeah.
Okay, remember this.
Same as
Do you
Zelensky.
remember when he, thank you. Do you remember when he had that big beef with Zelensky?
Yeah.
And everyone believed it was real. Yeah, and he's like, you're gonna do this and you're gonna do what I tell you. Guess what? The war's still happening. I thought he was the way they said
End it.
they said Trump was going to end it. I'm a tough guy, Trump, and I'm gonna stop supplying you with weapons, which really that's not happening. They're making money.
Yeah.
Even he said it. He said, "Oh, we're making a lot of money." He said it the other day. We're making a lot of money from. Yeah, I knew that. You didn't tell them that at the time. That really, this whole Ukraine thing is a way for the military-industrial complex to just keep funneling money to themselves. These are loans. They're not actually giving money to Ukraine. But who's me, innit? Right? So you got this situation going on, and everyone's forgotten that war's still happening. But Trump's supposed to have ended that. He had a beef with Zelensky, which means supposedly he was supposed to be cutting Zelensky off publicly. But he didn't cut Zelensky off. So that means that whole thing was bullshit.
Yeah.
It was an act. And even after they said, "Oh, this is gonna make good TV," because that's what it fucking was. It's an act. They're both actors. Lights, camera, action. We're gonna have an argument. Trump's gonna look like a tough guy because he plays that tough guy role. But look what actually happened in the end. Nothing. But people have forgotten about it now. That's gone. Now we're on to the next fucking act.
And this is why it's all bullshit. Because America for a long time talk about China's the enemy and this and that. But they're still doing trade with China. If he was really an enemy, bro, none of this would be going on.
Oh, then so I
Going.
had a talk with G.
Fuck, great conversation.
Great
Tremendous conversation.
Just a puppet. And this is the thing. America is a show. It's spectacle. But the spectacle is about the Lord is going to put on the greatest fucking spectacle with America. We're going to get to it. Revelation. The Lord is going to put on the greatest spectacle, and they ain't gonna like that one because they ain't making it past the credits. Yeah, go on.
This is the book of Isaiah 32 and 6. For the very person will speak violence, and his heart will work iniquity, to practice hypocrisy, and to hurt her,
They call it the Hippocratic oath.
That's different.
I know. But that's when the hypocrite.
and to hurt her against the Lord, to make empty the souls of the hungry.
That's all they're doing. They're creating demons, man. He's not a good man. He's not doing anything good. He's demon. The Epstein thing, we told you. That's not nothing real. You would not know about Epstein if they didn't let you know. That whole QAnon thing was CIA. And the whole thing that they did with the CIA QAnon thing was they were setting up a thing with white hats. So you got the deep state, and then they said that Trump is fighting against the deep state. Okay, cool. Yeah, sure. Yeah. And then what their whole thing was, Trump was going to get into power and drain the swamp. So all the Democrats, because they made it look like all the pedophiles are Democrats, which we know is bullshit. They're all pedophiles.
Yeah.
They're all warlocks. They're all demons. But obviously they have to set that up. So then Trump was supposed to go in there. He was supposed to arrest. Remember this one? He was supposed to arrest Hillary Clinton.
Which is like, that's cool.
Then when he got into power, he said, "This is one of my good friends. I got loads of respect for him." Well, this is bullshit. Yeah, and then they all turned up to his inauguration. They did it this time.
Because there are certain countries, man, is legit. If you're up,
Yeah.
opponent gets in, you're trying to flee.
Bro, they all turned up. They said if Trump gets into power, America's done, it's over. And then they all turned up to his inauguration.
Wish him well.
Oh, and people can't see that it's bullshit. So the Epstein thing was part of that, right? But they've only let you know what you need to know. The list is bullshit. They're never going to give you no fucking real list, right? If they give you a list, yeah, they just made it up on the spot for whatever reason they need to make it up. But they're going to keep stringing it along. Have you not noticed? They're using it to just string you along.
Yeah.
To string you along,
Another
to demoralize
episode,
you, to get you to agree and disagree, to agree and disagree. Now you're demoralized because you don't have no.
Like, how's the document they give you to like so heavily taxed?
Bare
What's
black
the point?
lines, boy.
Oh,
What's the point?
and the thing that got me as well. So allegedly, right? Allegedly, because Musk fired a whole load of people, you could unredact the documents, and it's like, well, you really think that these guys are that incompetent?
Well,
Exactly.
bro, if them documents was really going to expose the real elites, they would not exist.
Because that what will happen, you know, whatever with national security or whatever reasons they do. It's just to keep you talking about it.
It's to keep the psychosis going along, keep you stringing along. That's all
Oh,
it
they've
is.
got to redact this picture though. Trump's doing it, whatever.
And someone being on his airplane is not incriminating. They still have plausible deniability. It's all bullshit. Where are all the videos they
He
said
was
they
doing
got?
this, man.
Yeah, it's bullshit, man. They're never gonna tell you the actual truth. They're just gonna string you along and demoralize you, and then get you to go along with the lies. And the more you go along with the lies, the more you become demoralized and confused. The MAGA is completely confused and demoralized, and that's done on purpose. Psyops. Trump will come out and say "fuck you" one day, and the other day say he loves you. This is it's like what you do to a whore, man. It's like a pimp. Shut up. You know, it's fake. It's not real. Then they'll release it 2 weeks later. But I thought you said it was real. There's Joe. They keep
question.
It's just confusion. That's why it's called Babylon. Babylon is confusion, man. The city of confusion. Everyone's confused.
Trump's doing the Nathaniel thing. You listen to Kosi, moron.
As she said. It's a joke. And then Elon said he's in the files. Had a big beef, which I never believed any of it. And then after Charlie Kirk, they came back together and it's all hugs and kisses. But I thought the guy's a pedophile though. Fuck that. All pedophile.
I was going to say, and he will cause the drink of the fast to fail. The instrument also of the child are evil. He devises wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words.
That's it. And this perfectly explains like we're going into they're purposely destroying the dollar. The destruction of the dollar, right? Everybody's working towards that, even the American establishment, because they need to destroy the old system in order to bring the new system, which is the MOTB.
And just like the CV, remember what I always says, when they came out with the Juicy Juice, they was like, oh no, we've been working on this technology for 10 years. It's the same thing they're gonna do.
Like
Yeah.
all technology.
They're-
All technology can work in the background.
They make it look like America's trying to save the dollar, but they're not. Everything they're doing is destroying the dollar. Everything Trump's done. When he said he's creating tariffs to reduce the trade deficit, the American reserve currency status relies on a large trade deficit. So when he's saying he's trying to reduce the trade deficit, he's actually hurting the dollar. That's why since he's been in power, what's happened to the dollar? It's getting
Dying.
weaker and weaker.
Oh, we need a stable coin, digital currency. You know,
He's destroying because it's an agreed thing that yet the old system has to go for the new system to come in.
But the thing is, like these school systems have done a great job dumbing people down, man.
Yeah.
Right. But then keeping them in hope. Because what's one of the things? If you don't vote, you can't complain about. Keep people.
Oh, I didn't vote for this. You dickhead. Listen, you don't vote for anything.
Exactly.
When you vote, the only thing you've done is take part in a cult ceremony where you agree to your subjugation. Because there's no contract. Listen, there is no contract you sign that it says where the president says that everything that I ran on, I must do.
Well, look.
It's not held accountable. If I do an agreement with you and I say, listen, bro, you're gonna build my house, you have to sign a contract, right? and the details of the house you have to build is there. If you don't complete that house to spec, what happens? You're not going to get paid, or you're going to have to pay some kind of thing. When a prime minister or a president is actually put into power, he says that I have a mandate to do the policies that I ran on, but he also can just do whatever the fuck he wants. And what are you going to do about it? Nothing.
Next 4 years. Yeah.
So really, your vote was just to say, what?
Yeah.
I didn't vote for this. You didn't vote for anything. That's the
Yeah.
point. The only thing your vote was a ritual.
What a person.
You bowed down and you kissed the ring and you said, "Oh, great Augur."
I like
Yeah. I
Do
want
your
you to, and then even if you voted for a different person, you still took part in the oppression because your vote signaled that whoever wins the most votes, he should oppress me.
with it.
So when you voted for Kamala,
you accept this.
you were accepting that whoever wins this presidency is my demon overlord. Well, I didn't vote for Trump. No, but you voted.
Yeah.
So you were in agreement
With the
with the rituals, with
Yeah.
the result.
Yeah. Yeah.
Guess what? That's why we don't vote, because we don't take part in occultic rituals.
We don't accept that.
So I looked up something because before an election they release a manifesto. There's a public declaration of policy and aims, especially one issued before an election by a political party or candidate.
Because what can a man guarantee you anyway over the next 4 years? I don't know what's going to go on for the next 4 years. You can't guarantee
No,
nothing.
it's
That's
so
what you're
different.
gonna go by.
Bro,
Promises.
it's no different than when a man want to get some of that sweet on his
But
But certain man, I'm not like that. I'm not. I'll be real. I'm not like that, blood. You hear me? Some man though will tell a gal that he gonna marry her. That man will tell her anything she wants to hear, sell her a whole bag of goods, and as soon as he gets that panan, she's gone because he was lying.
Yeah, but you know, it's
No,
like, to go back to your contract example, and that's why now our Lord, the dad was involved. It was like, yeah, you go, all right,
Contract.
yeah, you could.
If they really wanted to have a political system, man would be bound that if you don't do exactly what you said you're going to do and make a good enough effort, you're going to go jail.
French style, isn't it?
But
Still day.
but then guess what? That would be an honorable system, wouldn't it? Man would be bound by the words that they speak, but these men are not bound by their word. The joke thing. Man said he was going to arrest Hillary, can't find it. They said they're going to arrest Obama. That's not going to happen. Bring back Obeezy, by the way, man. Obeezy was the man still. I ain't gonna lie. American burger. Yeah, Obama versus Trump would have been the best television ever. I'm telling you. But they picked that Kamala demon to lose, and she was obviously supposed to lose. I don't know why people couldn't see that. And then all of the shit that came out on her, most people that were in the know already knew. So why is it only came out at that particular time? Yeah, because she was supposed to be a weak candidate, and Trump was supposed to be a strong candidate. It was obvious.
And and the whole thing about how she was she basically circumvented the whole, I forgot, DNC,
Yeah,
Democratic
no
National.
one knew who the fuck was this bitch.
Yeah.
When she became vice president, no one.
Yeah.
She was nobody. Like, she shouldn't have been, but she should have been, because it's already pre-planned what was going to happen.
Exactly.
We're going to run her against Trump, and Trump's going to be the stronger popular candidate.
Exactly. Who the fuck was Trump? Like, he was just a businessman before he come into
You're
he wasn't a politician.
Yeah.
But he was able to run. You know, and now he's a
Well,
forefront
they
of
ran
the
him as
politics.
at first they tried to say he was a different from the rest. He's not a real Republican. Then he put all the real Republicans in his cabinet. Anyway, go on, man.
I think you want to say, even when they need speakers light.
Yeah, that's right, man.
In Psalm 58, verse 3, the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies.
Everything's a lie, bro. God, psyops, falsifications, lies, propaganda. Twitter, just bare propaganda. White supremacy is nothing but propaganda. All day, every day. Oh, IQ this, IQ that. All this bullshit lies. The whole thing is based upon lies. This whole society. Esau's a liar. That's why when we say Esau's the devil, most people can't comprehend it because they're within the realm of these lies. The more you learn about this world and how, like, bro, that's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie. Like, you're like, bro, you can't even trust your lying eyes. You can actually see something with your eyes, yeah? Even this thing with AJ, I'll be honest with you, that shit was spooky as hell.
Yeah.
I got bare questions about that shit. I can't believe it. Like,
There's some 33s in that as well.
There's some 33s in
Yeah,
that too.
33
The whole
million
thing's
views.
spooky, and what
Yeah.
the story they want man to believe is very spooky, blood.
Yeah.
That 260-pound man, first of all, he should be killing the driver if he weren't wearing a seatbelt.
Yeah.
And then if he was wearing a seatbelt, my man looked like he just come clean out of the Miami fucking beach
Yeah,
beach
what's going on
fucking,
there?
exhibit,
So-
bro.
so sweaty.
Man had no bruising,
Yeah.
no. I don't
Come
trust
Because
that.
even that one, I was just thinking about that recently. I was just like, just the other day rather, of just how quick the news suck. Most people have forgotten that even happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was like major. You know, Sky News, BBC News notifications, and everyone was like, oh,
Bro, you can't trust nothing, bro. Because of Esau. Because he's such a liar. Man lied about the moon landing.
Yeah.
Man lying about everything. 9/11, everything.
so and it's like even on that, because I was like, right, if they can have the whole world believe that, they gonna make us look crazy. They had the whole world believing they went to the moon.
Technology's
Yeah.
gone advanced.
But they said that they saw Saddam kicking babies out, incubators, all sorts, man. Esau's just lies, bro. That's why he's called the devil, because he's a master of illusion and theatrics and false flags and all these different things. They got agents, double agents, triple agents, man. You can't trust nothing out here, bro. You got to double check, triple check, and it's an official document. Oh, it's not when it's Esau. Esau will do anything. That's why when they said they're going to release all the documents on what happened with JFK, who's releasing the documents?
This whole geopolitical thing is a whole fucking lie, man. All these enemies that are supposed to exist, they're all in on it, man. The Putins of the world, the Xi's of the world, they're all working together for this world government, man. So you think there's these people fighting for some type of real thing. It's not real. None of this thing is real. It's a fear. The whole thing's a fear.
Lying. But guess what? The Lord is still gonna make shit happen.
Even like
That ain't gonna be.
But even when we speak about, but even when we speak about these celebrity relationships,
Oh, fake.
and it's just like, you're just like, so she had a baby with him, but that was all paid for. And with some people, that's just a lot to process. You know what I'm
Nah,
saying?
because it's like the Matrix. You have to believe it's all real. Once you realize that most of the shit that you see is all scripted and fake, the fake beefs, fake fucking like you said, fake relationships, then you realize that, oh shit, man, this is just demonic, bro. That's why this world has to be destroyed.
Get control of the factory reset. You know when you get
Sledgehammer said.
yeah. You know when you get the virus on your computer and shit, you just get to a point where it's like ain't turning on properly no more.
Hydrochloric acid. Bro, the place needs liquidating because there's too many lies out here. The only thing we know for sure that's truth is these scriptures. But Esau's a liar, man. He's lying on so many levels, man. Man lied and told you that fat was bad for you. Had everyone avoiding fat, now they got dementia. It's lying. Man told you coconut oil was bad for you. He's a liar, but you can't trust this man.
So the verse 4, their poison is like the poison of a serpent. Deadly.
Yeah, because white supremacy is a lie, and that's just completely destroyed the minds of our people. We live under the system of white supremacy, and the self-hatred and low self-esteem is created, and it's all based upon a lie. We're not apes. We're not low IQ. It's not like what they're trying to say. These men are hills have IQs, yeah, running around here, and this is what pisses me off. It pisses me off, man, because the average Edomite, yeah, is stupid.
Yeah.
Is well, they're the ones being manipulated the most.
Quote Lyndon B. Johnson, Lyndon Baines Johnson. If I can get the lowest white man to think that he's better than the highest black man, whatever colored man, then you can basically make him do anything.
And that's what happens. These men are dumb. You see how these right wing and left wing guys, they're all dumb, really. They're all stupid. Like they're not higher, but the thing is, they think they're high IQ because they've been taught that.
Yeah.
But they're not, man. Their hills are like, coming over here, man. And they're taking on. It's like, but this boy can't even speak English. But then if I speak with an accent, I'm dumb. I hate it, bro. I hate these devils. These men can have the craziest accent you've ever heard. My uncle, mate, I want a cup of water, mate. Listen here. But if I say bumbuckler, oh, savage. Man can't speak English properly. So, but most of England don't speak English properly. So why don't they get labeled as low IQ and not being able to? It's bullshit, man.
And the thing is, like a lot of it's funny. I don't know if you watch, but it's the elders did the video camp yesterday. Most Elder Ariel, I can't speak to this. Like Elder Ariel, it's cold as fuck. Elder Ariel was speaking about how like he went when he was graduating. There was one dumbass Edomite. She got a doctorate. She was dumb as hell, but she got a doctorate. And that's the thing. Esau will get degrees, think that they're smart, but it's like I always say, we work around you,
And
man.
they cheat too.
They cheat, yeah.
This DEI thing, it pisses me off too. But these Edomites cheat, they lie on their CV. That's a known thing. Edomites lying on their CV, just making up shit and then just winging it. Because why? Under the system of white supremacy, they don't get scrutinized. And then they're also allowed to be incompetent. But in the system of white supremacy, Jake can't have a bad day. You have one bad day, it's because you're a monkey and you're low IQ and you don't deserve the job anyway. White man can have a bad day his whole career. I've seen it, bro. I've worked with Edomites, bro. That the when they actually end up losing the jobs because they got someone killed. That's how bad it is. And it's like, yeah, but this guy, I know mans that were going to do like, I'm not gonna give it away, but they were going to do, every year you might have to do like a test to prove you're competent.
Yeah.
Failed it every year, and then a manager above them was just sweeping it under the rug. Man will come into work here. This guy's meant to be a manager. This guy is doing nothing. Nothing. This man's getting paid big dough, like 80 grand. Man's doing nothing, right? Then we have you say like you have an incident. Man's on the radio trying to find him. Yo, there's an incident. Boom, 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 boom. Bro, man's dealt with the incident. My man comes in when the incident's already done. Police have come and everything in his tracksuit bottoms. Yeah, half an hour early before he's meant to go home. Oh, is everything all right? All right, cool. I'm going home. Bro, I've seen Edomites with my own two eyes be allowed to be incompetent, to be lazy. They're allowed to be lazy. They're allowed to hide in the break room and not get accused of being lazy. But let you go sit in the break room.
2 minutes go. Yeah.
Then automatically you're lazy.
Esau gets bent. Sorry, brother. Yeah.
Not even in black time. Sometimes they hide it. I mean,
Bro, that's what I'm talking about. Edomites are allowed to skive, but not be called skivers. They're allowed to do certain things. They're allowed to fail and fail upwards because their failure is not indicative of who they are. But if if you fail, it's because you're supposed to fail. They expect you to fail. They're looking for you to fail. They're going to scrutinize everything you do. The white woman is the biggest example of that. She could be belligerent. She could divorce man and take all their money. She could do all of that shit. She will never be labeled with any of those things. She's still a lady. She's still better than everyone else. She could be ugly as hell, but she's still beautiful. She could be 800 pounds. She's still a princess. This is the reality of the world we live in. Like, they're allowed to fail. They're allowed to be incompetent. They're allowed to cheat. They're allowed to steal. They're allowed to get into jobs just because their uncle was working there. But then if Jake gets into the job, it's DEI and he doesn't belong there. But you got the job because your uncle got your incompetent ass the job. And you be sitting there knowing your uncle gave you the job, knowing you ain't good enough to do the job, but your uncle got you the job. But this black man is DEI. Is DEI. He shouldn't be here. He didn't earn it. You didn't earn it. George Bush didn't earn being in fucking with the Ivy League. He was known to be an idiot. He got there because of his money. What are we doing here?
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry for the rant here, but
it's real.
The system of white supremacy itself is poison. And then we absorb that poison and it destroys the minds of our minds from we're children to think that we're below, that we're lower, we're less than. We're not.
Because it's like, if I can build on what you're saying, Zaquan, build with you and that. It's just like, because then what Esau then does, he says, I'm the smartest. But then he'll then make these other heathen nations also seem as if they're smart. But when you're around them, they're dumb as well. Bro, you be around Elam, bro. Elam, you ask them something.
I hate them. They can't even.
Incompetent. You ask them something that isn't part of the direct formula. You see them spaz out. I also remember was one time there was this proper Moabite geezer. You know, like, yeah, it was a proper Moabite geezer. He was studying philosophy at one of those London universities. And I was listening to this guy speak, and the other person that I was with was like, yo, that's deep. I'm listening to this nigga like, talking anything.
Just fluff faith for them.
You know, it was fluff is an overstatement. This was just like, you know, when someone's trying to sound deep, I was like, we're not saying anything.
They're not.
These heathens aren't
that. And Jake, there's Jake. Like, it's funny because I was chatting to my woman today. She was telling me about one Jake she works with. he knows everything in the job. He's doing all the jobs, man. But he should really be management and team leader. But he's like, no, I'm not gonna go for it because I won't get it anyway. This is the situation that Jake is in. They already defeated because the system of white supremacy is on top of man. And then now they think they're like an airplane crashes. Oh, but it was a black pilot.
Yeah.
But all these time when these white boys are crashing the airplanes,
No one says it.
That's
Malfunction. It's very but female. Yeah.
Hey, bro, drunk. What did you see the Edomite that was on mushroom and tried to turn the engine off? He was
Yeah,
on
I heard
mushrooms
about
and he tried to turn the engine off.
Bruh.
Now let that be a Jake. You know what they would have said?
Fans,
Oh,
bruh.
DEI dropping the standards.
Hey, Slut, I always say, you remember German wings?
German what?
German wings. Also, it's now called Eurowings, right? It's an airline.
Oh,
The Edomites flew the whole plane into a mountain. They rebranded something that I think was Hamlet as well.
County that they are.
You know, it wasn't called the T word, nothing. The T word weren't used. It's mental health. Mental health.
That's what they
Right? Flew a whole plane into the side of a mountain and everyone's forgotten about it.
DEI. And remember, this whole idea that Jake is incompetent and low IQ, this was established scientific racism that was established from the 1800s. So everything that Jake does today, like a doctor, dentist, there was a point where it was actually taught in science that we are physically incapable of performing complex tasks. This is where it all comes from. And guess what? That is a lie. Because Jake can be a dentist. We know one.
We can do anything.
Bro, this brother here is flipping tech genius, right? You know what I'm saying? Brothers has got IQs at.
Can I grab this?
He saw a lie, man. Yeah, go with that.
Genesis 25:23. And Yahweh said unto her, 2 nations are in thy wombs, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and the one people shall be stronger than the other.
We're
people.
stronger than you Edomites in every way. The only reason that we're in captivity is because of curses. You are, if you are inferior, and this is the thing, when we say it, we're not making it up. Oh, we've been in. We Edomites up. Listen, when I was in Munster, I went the fastest. Now, obviously, you know, you develop, yeah, but when I come to England, quite quickly, I was the fastest. Like, pure pace abuse on the pitch, man. You know them ones, the IC3 thing. Yeah, you know the pace abuse is there. Man. These Edomites break their noses, break their bones like it's nothing. Like they're not strong. They're not like physically, and that's why they never wanted a Jake to be the world heavyweight champion.
Yep.
They didn't want Jack Johnson to be world heavyweight champion because they wanted to keep that because it was a symbol of physical prowess, and they wanted to keep the idea that they were better than us.
Yeah.
But we're obviously not. We're not. But the thing is, the one thing they've been holding on to is they're better us in terms of intelligence.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if that was the truth, you would give us the same educational opportunities that you have.
Well,
But
I'd say
you
that's something more easy they can control.
they can control it.
Control that.
So yeah, there's some dumbass Jakes out there, but that don't mean that that's how they should have been. They could have had because the most educated group in America is the Nigerians. So don't tell me that Jake isn't capable of being intelligent and educated, man.
But even like when you look at Zimbabwe, South Africa, those are known to have good schools. Now, I mean, Esau will try and take credit of that. But I think about, for instance, in Zimbabwe, and to be fair, most African countries, speaking 2 languages is nothing.
It's
Just
in
speak
terms,
to that, minimum.
just the result of learning.
Yeah.
And if you control the learning, you know, I say your school is shit anyway. That's why
Yeah.
America's fucking dumb.
Mm.
But if you control what people learn, what they don't learn, or what it's like, of course, you can manipulate if they kind of stupid or not, or not, you don't know much. You know, and you didn't let Jake read, you didn't let Jake do a lot of things. man.
And also it's a mental thing because a lot of Jakes here, because we're under the system of white supremacy and we're taught that that's not the thing for us to do.
Yeah,
We don't do it. So Jake doesn't understand that really. And I always told this to Jake all the time. We don't have a box to be in.
Mm.
Listen, Jake can play any instrument. Jake, if you want to go climb mountains, go climb mountains, bro.
Mm.
There's nothing that is white.
Yeah.
That's what Esau tried to do.
Just know
So-
anything that Esau does, you can do better.
You could do
Yeah,
it.
you can do better, man.
But there is a syndrome
There's
among
records to
Jake
break.
here that any Jake that
Yeah.
tries to break out the Negro box here, they say, "Oh, he's acting white." No,
Yeah.
listen, bro. No, don't be held back by the system of white supremacy.
Mm.
We can do whatever is invented on the planet Earth as long as it's not
Yeah.
unlawful. Coming out here with party business. Yeah?
Right.
But I'm saying, like, why can't you play the clarinet? Why can't you Go. Why can't you like mountain climbing and there's Jake that like all kind of different things.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Some Jake
Yeah.
that-
It's a lot. But you said
Jimmy, man.
you said apart from like that wicked stuff, but scripture says the excellent is more righteous than his neighbor, for the way of the wicked is seduces him. And when these people, when you see a Jake mow, they be mowed out, and they be mowed the hell out.
I don't know, hold up. I'm joking, man. I'm trying to forget about all that now. It's true. But listen, man, Esau has put us in a box. That's why most Jake, even in America, you look at their mindset and what they believe they can be and what they should be. Not even what they can be, but what they should be. Their idea of what should I be is limited. What can I be? Whereas most of these Edomites, they're not limited by that. They're like, oh, I could do this. I could do this profession. I could do that profession. But if a Jake does it, man will kind of still feel like I'm not doing what I'm meant to be doing. That's why a nigga will get a degree and still want to be on the streets.
Yeah.
A nigga will, you see it, the hip hop, the gangsterification of Jake is to the point where a nigga's doing a civilian, a law degree, but he still wants to go out with a do-rag on and look like a gangster because in his heart, that's really what he should be. But it's because they've attached that to our identity. But we are everything. We can be everything. Why are we going to be put in a box? Esau put us in that box, and it began in slavery when he said the only thing you could do is be a chattel. You can't be a doctor. You can't do this. You can't do that. Slowly, we've come out of the box, but our minds are really still in that box. Oh, you have to act white to be intelligent. No, that's not acting white. That's why is that acting white, bro? What?
Yeah, that's that's an attack on the mind because that's you subconsciously saying white people are smart and we are.
There you
not.
go.
And they're not even the pinnacle. So we're the pinnacle.
This is it.
We're the pinnacle, but we're just being held back.
Oh, then
This was kind.
yeah.
And
Yeah, because let's when you start doing all of that book stuff or whatever, what have you. All right, cool. If you've got a situation where your family can just allow you to just sit and read books all day, okay, you're gonna get a good score. Whoop-de-woo. But when it actually comes to being intelligent, seeing a problem and being like, okay, well, actually, in this situation, the book says we should do X, Y, Z, but actually, doing this is more beneficial for what we need to do, right? Jake is the ones that are going to do that. Jake are the ones that are going to be creative with problem solving and shit like that. I think about the scene in 12 Years a Slave, where he's like, nah. And the thing is, he wasn't even trying to hate. He was like, yeah, man, actually, no, if we do it this way, it's going to be better. What you say, boy?
Well, I always remember a story back in Montserrat where because island niggas worship white people, man. Listen, you could be the most mediocre. Anything you're mediocre in, you go to the islands and then there'll be man on the island that's better than you, but they'll put you, because you're from Britain, they'll put you like the chief of police. Like you could be any detective alcoholic here in England, and you'll go to Jamaica and they'll make you fucking chief of police. It's like, bro, this guy is mediocre. There's man from Jamaica that's better than him. Because Benjamin just system of white supremacy. But anyway, they brought some dudes to do a building project in Montserrat, right? And the way Montserrat is, you have what they call guts. Like, it's mountainous. So you might have a gut, and if bare rain comes, like a hurricane or something, the gut will rise up and it might even overflow a certain place and cut through. But it never really rains enough for that always to happen. But there's a saying on the islands. A man tried to tell these dickheads because they wanted to build the post office in this particular place. And the man come and said to me, I know you man got the geology degree, but hear this though. Where water go once, it go again. Simple, basic intellect.
Come on. Yeah.
Simple, basic IQ. If water has run a particular place before, there's a higher possibility that it's gonna go there again. It's not a one-off. No, man, they're geologists. I got my degree. I'm from England. I know what I'm talking about, Guess what? They built the post office, and not 2 months later, heavy rains, the post office washed away. The only thing that saved the packages was there was a big wall, and the packages kind of got caught up in the wall and stayed there. This is what I'm talking about Edomites, man. That hyper-inflated sense of we was IQ. We was high IQ and shit, you know? That
Yeah.
hills of IQs. These man. Whereas like a simple J that ain't got the degree understood.
Yeah.
Like
So what one of my old colleagues, he has a phrase. I mean, he don't say it about Edomites, but when we sit to read what he's talking about, is that Edomite mentality of everything has to be a moon landing with Esau. Jay, will look at signs like, well, there's a simple solution, man. Esau's always trying to overcomplicate shit or what. That's what. So when you work,
there's a lot of shit that Esau does that destroys companies.
yeah.
Like, well, I can tell you
Optimization.
stories. I've been in companies where Esau, I've seen Edomites. I've gone into the meeting, right? And the Edomite had us freaking I was in a dairy. So the way it works is you run up the machine and it does the filtration. But it's designed to just run. What you shouldn't be, you calibrate it and say like you set it to do semi-milk. You shouldn't be setting it to do semi-milk and then dropping it down to do fucking 1%. And then dropping it, but no, you're gonna fuck up the machine. The machine's designed to do thousands and thousands of liters doing one thing, switch. Thousands of thousands of liters doing one thing, switch.
Yeah.
Not so anyway, this guy made a situation where there's a percentage where you gotta have the fat in the milk, right? And it has to be in those parameters. He wanted us to save on the fat, yeah, to get into these tight parameters, but it's almost impossible to do. You got to keep chopping and changing, stopping and. So what that would cause is constantly breaking down these fucking plants, right? Then on top of that, he would, for energy saving purposes, he wouldn't let us keep the spare ones on standby, so that when you're doing it now, if that breaks down, you could just whip it up quick, half an hour, we're up to speed, remove it. No, these fuckers take 4 hours to bring a line from shutdown. So now this fucker's broke down. Now I've got to wait 4 hours to bring the other one up to speed. Yeah. Which is fucking up the whole production line. So I go into the meeting, yeah. I'm kind of newish, right? I'm watching all this shit happen. And he's on the board, it had like £8.52. And I'm like, okay, we're saving £8.52 per 1,000 liters or something. This is a big savings. Bro, it was a week. This man had us doing all of that shit, yeah, for like an £8.52 saving, yeah, in the week. But look at what's happening. The plant's breaking down. Production is getting lost. We're not meeting deadlines because of what he's doing. And then eventually the whole thing shut down. And you see that guy, I know he got a better job after.
Yeah.
Because on his CV, it's not going to mention how he did. The other effects of what he did, all it will show is, I implemented this energy saving program and I saved.
Yeah, we'll say it as a percentage.
Yeah. It will say it's a percentage and shit. But the man that were there would know, but you also fucked up the whole regime. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the mediocre Edomites, and he's rich. I remember a man telling me when I went to New York, he was like,
you go to Manhattan.
Yeah, you stay in Manhattan. I don't know what that fucking is in Manhattan. But this guy had money, his dad had money, and that's why he's in the industry, because his dad pushed him into the industry. And he was a cool dude, but he wasn't high IQ. Now, fuck off.
I'm gonna grab this is Baruch 3 from 35. This is our power, and there shall none other be accounted of him in comparison of it. He hath found out all the way of knowledge,
Which is science. Science is knowledge. So we're not against science. There's another lie Esau pushed. Like, you either have to believe in the Bible or you believe in science. No, the Bible is science. Real science. The God of the Bible created science.
Yep.
It's just knowledge.
There is a science that coexists with the scriptures.
Which is the truth. All knowledge which is true is what we're of. We're not of evolution and all the lies that these men are pushing. And the go ahead.
It says, he hath found all the way of knowledge and hath given it unto Jacob his servant and to Israel his beloved.
So the most important knowledge that he gave us was the law, statutes, and commandments, which is how to live. But we're going to have all the other science too. So if you think you've seen a truly scientific world, you ain't seen nothing yet. Because some people think we're going to be in the kingdom, fucking ooga boogering around the place. Like we're living in huts and we ain't gonna have no tech.
Carrying candlesticks.
The word technology, the word tech means skill. Technology is the study of skill. It's the skill of using knowledge to manipulate your surroundings. There's nothing wrong with technology. We're gonna have technology in the kingdom. And it's just that our technology is actually gonna be harmonious with life.
And if you think
because scripture speaks about knowledge shall increase, right? That's just in general knowledge that's increased over time, right? You think it's not going to increase in the kingdom?
Exactly.
Bro, we're gonna be on Asgard levels, bro.
Yeah, because you mentioned you mentioned like what do you call it, harmonious. It's like there's certain things in the ancient world that we kind of had, and it was kind of just for a good reason. So like doorknobs being copper, right? Copper has certain properties to it that is good for like getting rid of germs and shit like that, right? Then you had other other just natural things that people did, right? That was like how Galen Reuben would leave which put precious gold and silver in the waters to clean the waters, right? Things like that. But what is Esau? Esau says, nah, actually, you're going to have these plastic doorknobs. You're going to have this, and it's all things that don't
It's
work
perverted
well.
knowledge.
Yeah.
They're perverted knowledge. They don't know how to use knowledge correctly.
For the sake of profit.
Yeah, and they're just low IQ, bro.
Bro,
So,
that's
they don't care about the long-term effects of the things they do.
Oh, for instance, is it badgers? The ones that gnaw through wood? Is it
Oh, you know what, beavers?
Beavers.
Beavers,
Yeah, beavers.
That's it, bad.
Yes.
They work with dams and that.
Yeah, dams. And the thing is, they say beyond after humans, like beavers are like the animal that basically does the most geological forming, basically, because those dams are ridiculously important. Because without the dams, what then happens is you then get stagnant waters where they create like little pools where you get biodiversity to grow in those pools. And then when you don't have those dams, then you're more susceptible to flooding. Same thing that he did with the mangroves. He came, just destroyed all the mangroves. More flooding, right?
Oh, there's so many things, even down to how you're supposed to design your toilet. Like we're gonna have plumbing in the kingdom. It's not, but even Sugar Grower, which I believe he was a Jake, the guy that they call him the Nikola Tesla of water. He showed that pipes are actually supposed to be designed in a spiral formation, which keeps life in the water, keeps the water energized. Like there's a lot of technology that Esau don't really bring out because he don't care about the people. He just cares about it. Well, he's a demon.
Yeah, he wants people sick, right? Because then how is he gonna feed his medical industrial complex?
There you go.
Well, I was gonna say this as well, man. I said, knowledge shall be increased, right? But Esau likes to believe or likes to push that he's the proponent of that increase of knowledge. But knowledge doesn't come from him.
Comes from the Most High.
Comes from the Most High, right? So the Most High is the one that can give knowledge to you.
And he's been getting it wrong, bro. It's been bare trial and error. It's been bare trial and error. And then a lot of the stuff, like for instance, the mobile phones, there probably is a better way for you to convey information, right? But you go listen to a guy like Eric Dollard, right? He'll say, yeah, but for instance, like they'll have certain things where they amp it up too much, so it's damaging you. Yeah. But they don't care. So in actual fact, yeah, you got the technology, but now the technology is destroying you because they're not using it properly because they don't know the intricacies of the frequencies and they don't care to know. They just want it to work. But there's probably a way to make it work. They don't damage your ass.
You know what that makes me think was about, and then maybe you can get Sirach, about the medicines out of the earth and all of that sort of stuff. It's basically you know how some women will have really bad periods. So what Esau says is take the pill. Are you in shock? Oh, so you're in shock. So yeah, but Esau will say take the pill, innit, as a solution for their heavy periods. Where it's like a lot of the time it's like, nah, just fix your diet. Yeah. You know, it will be like fix your diet or something like that. But like there are better ways and safer ways for that individual to improve that particular problem.
What, even childbirth, with the whole thing with the doula.
Yeah.
They've used technology in the wrong way. They're not really helped childbirth. They've industrialized it and made it worse. That's what I was saying. Like, there's nothing wrong with science, but science has to be coupled with wisdom and understanding. And Esau don't have that because he's a demon. So everything he touches is tainted and it's not really correct.
He's an idiot, Fuck Esau, bro.
It's an idiot.
Everything you've been saying, I was coming from the plantation. I was like, man, I'm thinking of a manager right now. That you know that manager I told you fucked up my pay once, right?
Yeah.
This nigga did it like recent. Know this man, Christmas people sign present, right? This nigga fucked up a whole shift. That's like 30, 40 staff, right? Fucked up all their pay, right? And they're like people who
It's not the first time.
yeah, I always tell you about that.
And the incompetence is gonna be
Bro.
high.
Bro, that same manager, yeah, he fucked up people's pay. So if you did like 5 or 7 extra shifts, you banged out to buy your kids presents.
We need the peas because January is peak.
Bro,
Yeah.
he messed up, right? And there was one old school benchman. I think he's from Montserrat. I actually think he's from your place.
Man.
Yeah. But anyway,
Depends on the story. Carry on.
but anyway, he fucked up his pay, and they processed his payslip, but the money never got sent to his account. So now it's a whole big thing in the company where they're putting the burden of proof on the old school Benjamin. To the point he was crying in tears. He showed them, bro, I got £25 at my account. You sent me a payslip, but I didn't get fucking paid for it. And this manager has fucked up. He's cooked right now. But guess what? If you go into the factory, his face is just on one of the walls. and that same nigga, well, now I've got a different manager who's Jake Gillett, like close in age with me. Bro, I'm making a joke. He's like a perfect Jake, yeah? So he's like, he's 6'4". He went to uni, got all the degrees.
Faster.
Yeah, everything. Like, he's intelligent. He reads a lot of books.
Yeah, them Titans and suits.
Yeah.
And them niggas, man.
By the way, he's Nigerian.
I was
he's
going to
Nigerian.
Talking about
fire.
Yeah, basically. But anyway, that same manager, right? When he came on my shift first, everyone on my shift was like, I mean, it's all right, but I just don't like his personality.
Jake said he's black.
Yeah.
I
I don't like
trying to
his,
find other words.
yeah. I don't like his personality. Like, I don't like,
out the thesaurus.
yeah, the chatting shit, basically. Like, I don't like his personality and how he shook my hand, blah, blah, blah. I'm being serious. I'm being dead serious.
You know what it is, but man felt the size of man.
Basically.
And they felt inferior. He's got man probably got a deep voice.
Yeah, like, for real.
Yeah.
And basically, bro, at the end of it all, those people who complain about him on the previous shift, now me, you know what I do with them? Every time I see them and I banter them, I said, hold on. You said that manager was shit because of his personality. Now you got my old manager. How you finding it? And everyone's all silent. Everyone's all silent. So it ties directly to what you're saying about Jake.
They're allowed to fail. They're allowed to be mediocre.
Yep.
Right, and get gassed up for it.
Yep.
They're allowed to live off the escapades of their elites.
Yeah.
Then nigga ain't invented a damn thing.
Yeah.
But he's talking about how many inventions he got. You ain't invented nothing, and neither will you ever.
And even then, one of the things that we spoke about is just this idea of during the time of chattel slavery, Jake weren't allowed to patent it. The patent system was created such that Esau was the one that he had a monopoly on it. In fact, I'll look up when Jake was first allowed to start patenting stuff, but that basically then meant that you may invent something. Yeah, Edison, he was a patent.
He was just a thief, bro.
He was a thief. But then once your name's on the patent, you invented it. You know? And even just, I think
And another thing to think about as well, yeah. I was going to say this, right? The Bible tells you, I know Shakar will know where it is. You know, it say that something about certain study of thought is not for man that bangeth the anvil. I ain't read it in so long.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, there's two. Isaiah 41 and Ecclesiasticus.
it's the one in Ecclesiastes. It was the rock.
Yeah, it says Ecclesiasticus
Let's see if it's
38.
How the hell?
I'm in 38.
Thanks to this brother's app. Genius app.
That's just crazy.
That's why from time to time I get my videos. I'm like, brothers. You know what I mean? If you know website that has the Hebrew, that has everything.
Yeah, that's just the one.
And then,
Which verse? I'm in 38.
oh yeah, read 38 and the
Top, yeah.
Read the 25th verse to the 29th verse. The point is at the 28th, but just read it.
25th. Okay. This is Sirach 38, start from verse 25. It says, how can he get wisdom but holdeth the plow?
What that's basically telling you is, right, when you're at the bottom of society, yeah, you're stressed out, yeah, and you got to work, yeah, you will find, yeah, that's not the kind of person. They might invent something of necessity, but in terms of higher level, like, there's some things you actually need to sit down
More complex issue.
and think about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like, when you're dedicated to laborious labor. I mean, I'm talking about your life is basically waking up and working hard and busting hard sweat. You're not gonna have the time because everything is time. Time is money, right? You're not gonna have the time for certain extracurricular activities. So, for instance, I'll give you an example. When the man were traveling and around the world, Lord Little Dick here was traveling around the world, right, and digging up this and digging up that. Do you know why he was able to do that? The key thing was Lord. That's because my man had about 5 plantations on the go. Yeah? He had business that he didn't have to attend. The business was making what's known as passive income. He was a lord, which means he has now the spare time to read all the books in his library. Yeah, to also go and be around other guys that and enlist them. So he could go and enlist and pay for another guy that has knowledge to come talk to me about this thing, blah 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 blah. Now he can actually travel and go to things. So this guy's building knowledge and wisdom in order to do certain things because he has the time to build himself up. Whereas Kojo, who has to wake up and cut wood and do the work hard, he ain't got the time or the money to be building up libraries and what's the newest knowledge from over here. He ain't got time for that. So you need to realize that the like for instance the West, right? The reason the West has been able to develop the way it has is because when you amass a certain amount of wealth to yourself, it creates a class of people or it creates a group of people who can dedicate themselves to that endeavor.
Bro, just to add to that, perfect example of that is who? King Solomon.
He can dedicate himself
Like
to them endeavors.
He was like, bro, plants, I'm gonna learn it all.
That's what comes. Listen, when it's the what they call it, the Maslow hierarchy of needs. When your biggest problem is eating, that's what you're gonna spend your time doing. When you sorted out eating and clothing and shelter, and you got more than what you need, now you got more time. That more time can go into clapping cheeks, or it can go into the intellectual endeavors, or it can go into a talent. Now all of a sudden you can start developing something else other than work, right? So this is why a poor nation or an oppressed people is going to develop slower than a nation that's got wealth. Because the nation, and that's been like that throughout all history, that the wealthy place has been a seat of development because now they could go cherry pick a guy. Oh, he's a smart guy. Now I've got the money to say, stop working that work that you're doing. Come over here and we're going to work on this. You understand what I'm saying? Which is why you get the brain drain. The brain drain from other places because now you can go and take people because you got the money to now pay for that guy to live. So that's a nuance that people don't realize that in the West, you got people that can dedicate themselves to learning. You go certain places where man are broke pocket, like into a favela. Who's dedicating themselves to learning in the favela? Man's trying to eat every day. Man's trying to hustle. Man ain't got time, man, sitting there talking about mathematics. Bro, ain't nobody got time for that, bro. We gotta eat, bro.
On what you're saying, if you're not working, you have leisure time. When you look into leisure, that means to read. Right, in the Spanish.
King Louis loved maths, so he was into maths. You ain't gonna find a peasant into maths. What time? He ain't got time for that. Man trying to find flour to get bread. Man got to work in the field. So that's also an aspect of it. That again, if you got a research facility, research doesn't produce anything. It's an investment. The only way you can invest into research is if you've got wealth already. That you can say, you man here are only going to research. If you're broke, well, you can't research. You need to get in the field and help us fucking make it.
Yeah.
So having wealth and being rich, having slaves gives you free time to do something else, which multiplies your development. Because unless you're going to spend that time just clapping cheeks, if you're spending that time learning, development can also occur. And that's part of why the West has been pushing forward development. You go to China, a lot of Chinese people are not just in the rice fields now. They got the money and the time to do other things. And what do you see happening? Development. You're not going to fucking invent shit when all you're doing is picking rice all day. You might invent something to do with rice, but what about something unrelated? You see? So you got to understand the nuance. With wealth comes the ability to develop other things because you have more time. Like I said, Lord, go look it up in the history. It'd be Lord this, Lord that doing it, Lord that. Who funded that? Lord this.
So when you go around stealing wealth from everybody, it's easy.
Yeah, of course
Yeah,
it is.
it's easy. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, Indiana Jones. Bro, watch any of those period pieces, and you'll see a lord traveling around the place. Like, how is Darwin, which he's a dickhead, but how is he able to travel? Think of it. David Attenborough. Would you get a David Attenborough from Nigeria?
Yeah, because when you look at some of his older, like it's that proper, the brown shorts, and all of that. It's but man was like 25 in some unknown areas. You've never heard of this place.
Who's funding this?
With the BBC and the camera behind him, it's like, yo,
It has to be funded.
I have a precept.
Yeah?
Uh,
That's not because you got a high IQ. It's because you've afforded yourself the leisure, the money and the leisure to be able to take part in those endeavors. Can you take a year off and go to a research project? Why not?
those need to get paid.
There you go. There you go.
yeah, this is Daniel chapter 1 and 3.
Or you got to go to a rich man,
Mhm.
and then he gonna have to fund you.
Yeah, yeah,
100%.
Now the goat herder ain't gonna fund you.
exactly.
Go on, select it.
No. This is Daniel chapter 1 and 3. And the king spake to Ashpenaz, the master of his eunuchs, that he should bring certain of the children of Israel, and of the king's seed, and of the princes, children in whom there's no blemish, but well favored and skillful in all wisdom.
Right. Or they would have learned multiple language. Like another thing, even when you go into previous to this, when the Assyrians came to the wall and they were talking about taking down Jerusalem, and you had all the man them on the wall. The man then said, yo, don't talk to us in the Jewish tongue.
Yeah,
Talk to us in your tongue because we understand.
Yeah.
Because they didn't want all the people hearing the conversation and then
know,
man
yeah.
start getting spooky.
Yeah.
Why? Because not everyone would have learned that language.
yeah,
Because the administrative language would have been something that either the elites would learn because they got the time to sit there and learn it, and they would need to learn it, or a merchant. An average Jake that's on a farm just chucking up bags of rice didn't need to go study another language.
and that's why Acts chapter 2 was so spiritual. You know, the tongues.
The speaking in tongues.
It was like, yo, man, this
Yeah,
guy
man
fish.
from Galilee.
That's the guy that gets my sea bass, man. He can just speak in the like elite language.
Yeah, but Paul learned all them languages because he was from the higher echelon society. The higher echelon society, why do they have the time to learn all these things? Because these would be nobles. He's a man that got money in their pocket.
Yeah.
So they got money in the pocket. They can hire tutors. They can hire a man to come and
Yeah.
teach their child to learn a different language.
Well,
You know?
after like a certain level of wealth, I mean, aside if you're like George Bush and just all these other Edomites,
You don't need to work.
it's hard to be stupid. but fucking he still finds a way.
It's hard to-
You know, because
Yeah.
after like even I've seen it like even on a lower level, you know, in Ghana and that, when you're of a certain wealth, like it's not uncommon. Like there's bare people, even brothers who travel to other countries. No, a certain the level of wealth of people, they just get sent abroad to just sometimes for like a year or two to just learn the culture, learn the language, and then they'll come back to their home country speaking like Chinese or something.
Well, you could dedicate
Just cause.
your son's early life to learning.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're Brock Pocket,
Yeah,
you need
yeah.
to dedicate that life to working.
You know, a prime example is there was a doctor who's also like a researcher on basically learning how to make a child genius. And obviously he was funded for a project. So he had his 3 daughters that he just taught them from young how to play chess. Like that was their focus. And all of his 3 daughters were like some of the highest skilled people on the planet for playing chess. Because guess what? Pops was able to get funded.
Yeah.
To
Time,
conduct
which
this
is
experiment.
time. Time is
time.
money.
Yeah.
Now you got time to do that.
Time.
I can make 2 points in that. One, what Esau has done in the from the perspective of child rearing is he's made infancy even longer than it used to be. So certain milestones that a child back in the day would have done very early, he's now saying like being weaned off of nappers, mixture of nappies and pampers. He's basically pushed it a lot longer than it should have been.
Yeah.
Right. So whereas back in the day it may have been a couple of months, now he's basically, I think it's like 18 months. Point being is basically pushed pushed childhood longer, and he's pushed this whole concept of adolescence
Yeah.
to the point where back in the day, whereas you would have been a set man, you weren't. But then the other point, and you aren't now. But then the other point is, yo, both parents go to work.
Yeah, no time.
Both parents go to work, man. It's fucked, man.
Yeah, it's a mad thing. And then the thing is, you're working and working. You don't spend no time with your youths because you're working. No one's spending no time with the youths. And then you're putting them in these shitty schools, and they're not getting one-on-one time. They're getting that group time. Whereas rich people, they can give their kids one-on-one time, one-on-one tutors, which is different. They can give them experiences. And then we speak to brothers all the time. Experiences for a child is way more educational than sitting in a classroom learning about something. If you could send your child somewhere that they've been there, they've been to the castle, they've seen it, they've touched it. It's a different type of growth in your mind.
And as well, it's like when he does send to these like private schools and stuff like that, that's one way that they can keep a closed loop of when they grow up, because then it's, oh yeah, I used to go to school with them, with this so and so, you should hire them, right? So then it becomes a closed little loop, right? But then let's be real, there's a school near the bottom of my road, it's 25 grand a year per child. You get a discount on the third child.
Yeah, and then, you know what? Them private schools, yeah, they're serious about kids learning. Because I know, man, they were some bad boys. And when they went to the private school, the way they do is, yeah, bro, you're not leaving here because they're getting paid a lot of money. So they'll make you be into a good child. They force man to do cricket, force man to do rugby. Like they made man turn his life around. They're not just gonna say, no, we're getting paid. So we're not putting up with behavior. This is what you're gonna do. But like I said, like the nobles in any society would always be more learned. Because as a nobleman, you've got more time to be learned. You've got more money, which should afford you the time to go into extra. You know, now you're into architecture. That's why the nobleman would lead an architecture project. You know what I'm saying?
Politics or whatever. You know what I mean? Basically everything.
Everything.
Like that's why, you know, you had these kings, whether Julius Caesar, Alexander the Great, you know, or when the emperors in Rome, they all were schooled by their tutors.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Well, a lot of men think that, and this is the way it comes, they think that being a ruler is just clapping cheeks session. But that's not really, that's the quickest way for you to destroy yourself and your kingdom. It's not a clapping. You obviously, you're going to clap cheeks. But I'm saying that if you spend all your time clapping cheeks, yeah, then you're going to be an idiot. As a king, you now have the time, or a prince or a nobleman, you have the time to travel, you have time to see things. You can bring in man. Like, yo, you just came from that country. Come, I want to hear about it. I want to know why I going over there. You get me? And that's how you become a wise man. You got the time. I got 2 hours right now. Come, I want to talk to you. You're telling me. We show that in certain old movies. Man will come and we say, oh, that man's from there. Come, sit down. Tell me everything of your land. You know what I'm saying? Like, man want to know because they don't want to be a dickhead. You know what I'm saying?
Scripture speaks about that. He that travel is full of experience.
But you so like even on that though, it's like what I've observed, people nowadays are most of the time it's just for bots. So it's like they're not when they're in the land, they're not trying to learn the land, they're not trying to learn anything about the people. They're just doing things for Instagram and bots. That's the only reason why a lot of people now just actually.
That's the culture Esau's pushing.
Exactly.
This person needs to go that box.
Exactly. In a time where like actual travel is accessible to most people, it's like you can go like Europe, £30. 30 fucking pounds.
Yeah, but they still don't even know how to read a map.
In it.
Most people don't know how to read a map, you know, or to find 2 points on the map and find out where they are. It's a bad thing.
It was back in the day in Prime. Remember Prime? We actually
orienteering.
Well, that's why this truth and man like Vol Camelo, they don't like, because this truth is not, we're not religious nuts. This is a 360-degree edification. We're going to be more, we're not religious nuts anyway. We have faith, we believe in Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, but we're going to be the highest IQ ever, which brings proper judgment. That's the balance. You got knowledge, you got wisdom, and you got understanding. Everything in maximum levels. And that's why our rulership is going to be crazy, because everything that you need to know into crops, how to raise animals, Solomon, we're going to know it, and we're going to apply it in the correct way.
And as I mentioned as well, and obedience. Because it's not our own law that we're running things by. It's the Most High's law, and we're going to be obedient to that law. Unlike Esau.
Well, that's humility. Understanding that you didn't invent nothing. The Lord has bestowed you with this knowledge. It was a gift. Whereas Esau's mindset is, it's me, I'm the one. White supremacy, I'm the one. It's like, brother, like, No, you didn't create nothing out of it.
Yeah.
So,
He said, this is Deuteronomy 4, verse 5. And it says, behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord my God commanded me. But you should do so in the land whither you go to possess it. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations.
yeah, we're not savages. Oh, a man stole something, so you chop his hand off. But that don't make no sense. Now you just created a dependent. So he gonna steal again. He need to, because nigga broke. Like he can't work. He just cut off one of his hands. So he gonna use the other hand to steal.
Mm.
Then when you take the other hand,
No, can't labor
to
now.
steal with his foot. Can't labor. What is it worth? What's the worth of taking a man's hand? And them man, all these jail niggas wanna do the shahada. It's ridiculous. Why would you chop a man? Oh, he stole something. I'm gonna chop off man's hand. No, the Bible is clear. You stole, you're in debt now. So you need to work off that debt. And that's a righteous thing. Now, if you get caught in the act of stealing and you get killed in the act of stealing, then fair enough. You're a robber. You got to charge you. That's in the law. Now look at the law. The law differentiates between murder and manslaughter.
Yeah.
If it's murder, that's it, man. You're gonna get what the duck get.
That's it.
Yeah. But if it's manslaughter, you get an opportunity to live. However, you're gonna live in a reduced manner.
Yeah.
Your freedom is really reduced.
Yeah.
It's limited to that sanctuary city.
Yeah.
But then if man see you trying to live your life up outside of that city, then man's gonna then you disrespecting that. You're not even acknowledging that you don't. You violate it.
Yeah.
You're trying to have it you're
Yeah.
trying to have it one way, but it's the other way. Then man are gonna get to you.
Yeah.
That's righteousness.
Also, perfect.
That's righteousness, because it's admitting that, you know what, man didn't really mean to kill man, and that's like, you know what I'm saying? So we'll make a concession. However, you're gonna have to stay in this city. And you have to have sanctuary. The Lord made it where the sanctuary systems have to be close enough that a man can get it.
Because if it's in Scotland, it's not.
Like, you know, niggas gonna
Circle.
niggas is gonna be onto you, bro.
Shoot fucking arrows.
Get that nigga, man. That's some shit. Yeah, but so when in the kingdom, when we set up these other nations, they're also going to have sanctuary cities among them, because they're going to be living according to our format. So they're going to have sanctuary cities. Righteous judgment, man.
It says, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people.
Yep.
For what nation is there so great? Who have the most?
And obviously the time when that's gonna fully come to pass, right, is gonna be in the kingdom of heaven. But even on a lower level now, and throughout history, if you study, like, especially when you read the scriptures, and you might come across certain names of Israel or different kind of empires, you gotta do research. Like, you see literally in every major empire, like Jake was always there, like, well, known and famous for wisdom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So Daniel and them.
Yeah.
Daniel and them, and even remember, we was going into the information of the nephew of Tobit in
Yeah.
the
Yeah, he was
Assyrian.
recording in the
Yeah, and in
But
that
it's
history-
only in this kingdom that Esau using scientific racism
scientific
tried to
racism.
completely chattel us
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
He tried to turn us into straight zombie chattel, bro.
Yeah.
The fucking
That's
demon.
That's why it's important when you're reading names. Don't just read the name. No, sometimes go and type in the name, the history, and find out a lot. Because
Might be man's cousin.
because the nephew of Tobit in the Assyrian Empire, he was like he was famous as like a sage of wisdom. You know what I mean? And it's like now his story is turned into folklore. He's a this, he's a that, he's a this and that. Well, he's an Israelite in slavery.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You know, it's sort of like Joseph in Egypt. You know what I mean? Like his story became a myth, a legend. You know what I mean?
Because we're a great people.
Yeah, we're great people.
We're genetically superior and spiritually. Our spirit is on a different level. We're the most talent. We're the most people of the highest potential. For potent means powerful.
Yeah.
Something is potent. It means it has power. Our power is the Lord.
Even the Spartans are famous to this very day.
Bro.
Even though those Jake and they have some off practices, but they're still
Feats heroic.
Bro,
Yeah.
Man was talking about these fucking psychopaths. They call these flipping Delta Force psychopaths here. But them man are really not no bad man warriors, bro. Or because they went in there with a billions worth of fucking equipment, yeah, and reconnaissance. And bro, these men are stacked. Like when when you listen to these guys, they said, "Raw, I didn't realize when you go to them special forces, one thing that impressed me the most was how much equipment and all this. Bro, these men get like the best of everything. Bro, you want to know about a real bad man? Go read about David and the 37 mighty men.
Oh, yeah.
These men were real bad man.
Israel going out to war with pitchforks. Making swords on a mass level like
These
that.
men were spooky, bro. These are the real spooky individuals, bro.
Outrun horses.
Not just in the spirit, bro.
These men were spooky, and guess what? They weren't psychopaths like these man. That PTSD, they might kill their family. You know, these ones got them man are tweaking. You know, the wife comes in through the door, bang, kill the whole family. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're tweaking.
Yeah.
These are like we're talking about these men could probably sit there with their family, they're good.
Yeah.
But send man to war and they're moving mad.
Yeah.
You read about
Yeah,
their escapades.
spooky.
Those are real spooky individuals, bro. Not these Delta
Yeah.
Force guys that they're trying. They're the best in the bro. These are just some man that can do cardio, bro. They're cardio merchants, bro. And they got guns and they got air support. Bro, the 37 mighty men didn't have air support like that. Them man were rolling out there with pure muscle, yeah, and a weapon in hand, yeah, and just tearing through armies. Just the hairman's name was in the ranks. Everyone's what they call it? You know, on FIFA back in the day, man will boost the morale. You know, there's a thing it start boosting the morale. Bro, imagine if one of these 37 men was in your team. You're like, oh, he's here?
Passing the ball.
Check this out, bro.
Passing the
You know
ball.
what it was, man.
All these warriors of today, right? They're not gonna have legends like these men.
Bro, these
Who
are
knows these
legends,
guys?
bro.
Who knows these guys?
In fact, no, it's even worse than that. A lot of the time, you can't know them.
That's what I'm saying.
You can't even. You know what I'm saying? Whereas it's just like they got to live in obscurity. You know?
Oh, you got it. You want to trying to
Send me the-
right,
Those
the
are
right,
dudes, man. Yeah, those.
Samuel's.
Yeah.
Bro, get it, man. 2 Samuel's 23. Let's start gassing up our warriors. Esau ain't never had warriors like us. Are you crazy? And the thing is about it, like Jake always got crazy mighty men. Like on the islands, yeah, there's stories about man that just got superhuman strength, bro. Like just 8 police trying to take man down. Look at this. Bro, you ain't talking to like man like what's his name? And I'm talking about the family, like you look at this guy Joab. You had Joab and his brothers, yeah. Bro, they were legit like real bad man. Real bad mans, like, and they were fast, like you were Asahel. They said man was swifter than as a roll, bro. Hey, it's like when I found out that what's his name was, Tracy McGrady and Vince Carter are cousins, bro. The genetics is crazy, bro. Like, and them man are aliens. How much more these dudes back in the day? And these were skilled, men of skill, men of intelligence, real warriors, bro.
That man was under the Fifth River or something.
David's and surgical. Let's read about the mighty man. Fuck the Delta Force, man. Deltas.
2 Samuel 23 verse.
Apart from 8. Man telling me about Delta Force and they got $1 billion worth of equipment there.
So it says 2 Samuel 23 verse 8. The subtitle is David's mightiest warriors or his mighty men. It says these be the names of the mighty men who David had.
And David was, and the thing is, he
Mighty
weren't
himself.
Trump. You know, this man like moving like a Trump's a mighty man or something. You know what I mean? That's how they're trying to act like, oh, he's so tough. Like, Trump's a pussy, like, David weren't no some little pussy with a couple mighty men around him. He was a mighty man himself. That man was being around David like, yo,
They respected David.
it's spooky.
They respected David.
David was spooky too. When David was a young man, he was putting up numbers like Jordan, bro.
I say, David with the giant killer,
lion.
the giant slayer.
Spooky.
There's a line.
It says, yeah.
And not like Khabib. I'm talking about real. That man was trying to kill him. Khabib is playing with a toy bear. Yeah, this is what a man like a bear that's trying to kill man, bro. Go on.
And it said the Takmanite that sat in the seat, chief among the captains. The same was Adino, the Enznite. He lifted up his spear against 800 whom he slew at one time.
Bro, man just went to war
Spooky.
and just
At one
taking
time.
man's out, man. Infinite stamina.
Crouching.
Man's
tiger.
breathing. That bro,
Oh,
man's moving mad out here.
and like the spirit was dealing, bro. Like, it doesn't say
He's in
it.
a flow state.
I could just see, I could just see like, he swings the thing. It's like a power bomb, bro.
That's some real 300. You know when Leonidas was running through the team and just taking man out, like one move into another, like. Bro,
They just fell on the spirit.
800 man. Because in a battle, usually you have to stop the battle,
Yeah, it's a lot.
you know, and then man take a break from the battle and then go back into the battle again. Some battles were like that. Battles were like, man will battle, man get tired and stop the battle and go. No, man said in one go. That means that man took them all out. Boop, 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 let's go.
One encounter.
Bro, that's stamina, bro.
Yep.
Are you telling me about these Delta Force, man? Because Goggins is running around, man. Fuck Goggins, man. He's ain't fucking fighting 800, man, man. I know he's a Jake, but these Delta Force, man, ain't fighting, lifting up spear against 800, man. Man needs an airstrike.
Yeah.
Honestly,
These men, like, these MMA fighters, man, they can't, do one fight, they're fucking tired, man. You know what I mean?
Andrew Tate, man.
he's a tam.
He ain't right, man.
Yeah,
Man's legs was gone, man. His legs were gone, but man had 6 minutes of cardio, man.
Wow.
Man had less stamina than Yard, man. It's crazy.
Come
Bro.
on. Yes, he's a tam.
Yeah, go on, man, go on.
Verse 9. And after him was Eleazar, the son of Dodo, the Ahohite. It says, one of the 3 mighty men with David, when they defied the Philistines that were there gathered together to battle, and the men of Israel were gone away. He arose and smote the Philistines until his hand was weary. Jeez. And his hand clave unto the sword.
No man could take him down, Man was just there fighting to everyone to his house, bro. Everyone
They're
was
not
down.
losing today, but it's not Arsenal. It's not Arsenal thing. Bottling this one, man. I had to get the 3 points.
In the trenches.
It says, and the Lord Yahweh wrought the great victory that day, and the people returned after him only to spoil.
You see how,
That's crazy,
See how
bro.
it was, whether it's the Lord's victory, though.
Yeah.
Because the Lord was with the men
Lord-
to do the feats that they did.
So man saying the main army was gone. So man defeated the enemy by himself. So the men came back. They were just taking up spoils, man. I said, what? These men are Hall of Fame. And that's why all this sports stuff, was just a way to redirect Jake's greatness, man, away from the warfare, man. You know what I'm saying? Because now Jake is putting all of his athletic ability into putting balls in baskets. Back in the day, man was putting heads in baskets. Right? You know them way there, bro.
Even if,
Serious prayers, bro.
even that the book Hebrewisms of West Africa, it talks about some Jake slaves, I believe they were Ghanaian, being hung, right? But like I think it was like a torture, like hung or death, whatever. But anyway, while they was on the tree, their feet was being burnt, right? And they basically didn't even scream or nothing. And while their feet was being burnt, they mocked the slave masters, saying it's cold. It's actually in that book, Hebrewism. It's cold. Like their feet being burnt, and it was like, yeah, I'm cold. They were fucking with it. Makes me think about Maccabees. One of the brothers, he said he didn't regard his pains. He didn't give him the satisfaction of even making noise.
Serious prayers.
So, to show you.
Real soldiers.
Fucking eating, stub his toes, and
Oh, foot busted.
yeah. Bro, a cousin of mine worked in a small high school, and she said they don't do PE. They don't do PE because their bones are brittle, their nose bleed. It says so.
Soft youths.
PE is sports for brothers in
Yeah,
America.
they do. They're soft. There's some soft breads, man. Yeah, it was. Listen, it's only the curses why these men took us down. But the tribes are full of animals, bro.
Yeah.
Warriors.
Real savages, like they like to say. Yeah, real savages.
Bro, this is what we about the Spartans. They're mentioned in the scriptures. That's
Yeah.
the Macedonians.
That's the volume.
Everyone knows about their stories, man. How they defied the Persians, you know.
Listen,
the gates.
Esau's dominance in war is not because they're bad men. Their dominance in war is because of mechanization. They're dominant in war because they got machine guns and missiles. They're not dominant because they're a real bad man and get busy with it like that. Nah, let's not. This is how their dominance has manifested itself in these last days.
Them man need exo armor and
Yeah, leotard gun and all them something there, blood. That's what they need, but if it was going back to the ancient world, blood, they'd be struggling. Blood.
steroids.
Oh,
And then,
they were struggling with God, man.
They needed the Gatling gun to handle cats. So them guys had unlimited stamina, blood. And you see what happened when man don't get tired, yeah.
Deadly with the blow.
it's
That's
not
scary,
scary,
bro. Hatchets.
And then man had some warrior society guys that were tapped, blood.
Yeah. How else?
They wanted to die. That man wanted to test bravery. Yeah.
Oh, no, yeah. Verse 11. And after him was Shammah, the son of Agi, the Hararite. And the Philistines were gathered together into a troop. There was a piece of ground full of lentils, and the people fled from the Philistines. But he stood in the midst of the ground and defended it, and slew the Philistines. And the Lord wrought a great victory.
Bro, this is
Man,
madness.
man pay capture the flag. You know,
Stood
couldn't
his ground.
get there, bro. So,
Stand and deliver, like,
Real bad man, bro. Got a name for himself.
yeah,
Now it's like, oh man did a crossover. Man did a step over. This is what we've been reduced to, man. Which the real sport is war.
yeah.
That's actually in the scriptures when it said, "Rise up and let the young men make
Play.
sport." The real original form of sport, the most high stakes sport there is war, and you play for keeps. Football and all these things is a simulation of war.
Yeah.
It's war simulation. It's really for kids to simulate the act of being in a team and physical activity. But real war is the actual true sport. And it's clear that Jake have the right genetics for it.
Yeah.
It's true.
And it fell. Verse 13 it says, and 3 of the 30 chief went down and came to David in the harvest time unto the cave of Adullam. And the troop of the Philistines pitched in the valley of Rephaim. And David then in a hole, and the garrison of the Philistines was then in Bethlehem. And David longed and said, Oh, that one would give me drink of the water of a well of Bethlehem, which is by the gate. And the 3 mighty men break through the hosts of the Philistines and drew water.
See, that's true power. Because you were just saying it like, you know, like a fast
throwing it out there.
fast comment.
And then man wanted to
This
prove
is the word.
themselves. Then man wanted to get the esteem.
Accolades.
So, yeah, I'm doing that right now.
I
Don't worry.
put points on the board straight away.
Bust the cup flag.
They were tapped. Man. They were already tapped, bro. Yo.
And drew water out of the well of Bethlehem that was by the gate, and took it and brought it to David. Nevertheless, he would not drink thereof, but poured it out unto the Lord Yahweh. And he said, Be it far from me, O Lord, but I should do this. Is not this the blood of the men that went in jeopardy of their lives? Therefore he would not drink it. These things did these 3 mighty men. And Abishai, the brother of Joab, the son of Zeruiah,
Bad man.
was chief among 3, and he lifted up his spear against 300 and slew them, and had the name among 3. Was he not most honorable of 3? Therefore he was their captain. Howbeit he attained not unto the first 3. And Benani, the son of Jehoiada, the son of a valiant man of Kabzeel, who had done many acts, he slew 2 lion-like men of Moab.
Some real bad man Moabite. And said, nah, two of them.
No, the one of them. No, the two of them. I will find them.
Straight up, like,
Man, I think it's like a martial arts. I mean, it's scary, is it?
yeah, real bad man. Like, ferocious.
Lion like men of Mord. He went down also and slew a lion in the midst of a pit in time of snow.
It's cold.
And he slew an Egyptian, a goodly man,
Bro, going into a pit with a lion is a madness.
In the
like,
snow.
in the snow.
Man said, fuck that. Bro, that's a madness. That's bravery too.
Yeah. Wow.
Cause you know a lion ain't no joke, bro.
Yeah, no.
Like, bro, if the lion hits you, it's
I am
one swipe.
I am-
Yeah.
Swipe.
You're cooked.
Swipe intestine.
Lions they're quick, they're strong, and they're ferocious. What fantastic slap.
That's right. And he slew an Egyptian, a goodly man. And the Egyptian had a spear in his hand. But he went down to him with a staff and plucked the spear out of the Egyptian's hand.
Skills play the bills, man.
Painting.
That's the sweet science, right?
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
And it says, and slew him with his own
So
spear.
this Egyptian man was peak genetic Egyptian, man. Man showed man the elite levels of genetics, bro.
Yeah. These things did Benaiah, the son of Jehoiada, and had the name among the three mighty men. He was more honorable than the 30, but he attained not to the first three. And David set him over his guard. Asahel, the brother of Joab, was one of the 30. Elihanan, the son of Dodo of Bethlehem, Shammah the Haratite, Elikah the Haratite.
But I say how didn't Abner kill him?
Yeah.
So that's all Abner was a real. Was Abner?
No, was it? I'm sure.
I'm sure it's Abner. Yeah, because that's why Joab killed Abner.
Yeah, I've been.
Yeah. Yes.
So that shows you Abner was a real bad man. Saul had bad man in his family. Hey, Saul was a mighty man.
Yeah.
Saul was a bad
Jonathan-
man too.
Jonathan.
And Jonathan. Jonathan was smoky too.
Yeah.
Bare smoke,
Tens of
bro.
thousands of
Bro. Yo, Esau ain't got no man like that.
Nothing. Psalms 18 and 32. It is the Most High that girdeth me with strength and maketh my way perfect. He maketh my feet like hinds' feet, and he setteth me up on high places.
Iron's feet, blood. That gives you that agility, the speed.
Which have you seen? Man, have you seen certain of them animals where it's like they're drinking water, man? Right, they're drinking water, and then it's like there'll be alligators in the water. Right, an alligator jumps up, but it's like as the alligator's jumping up, it's like the way that the row or whatever, the way it jumps back, like with great mad power, and it'll be like a proper,
like a cat.
you know. But
You got to have footwork too.
Yeah.
Part of being a great warrior is your footwork, your ability to stay balanced.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why certain strikers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man.
It says, He teacheth my hands to war, so that a bow of steel is broken in mine arms. Thou hast also given me the shield of thy salvation, thy right hand hath holden me up, and thy gentleness hath made me great.
Man, David was a mighty man. So we don't know about no Trump. You man can suck off Trump if you want, man. If that's your great leader, then
Is this your king?
that's your king. Man. But if he was in a room with King David, man, he'd be pissing and shitting himself. David was real aura. They think Trump has aura. He's an actor. David had real aura. Man had bodies on him for real. He'll kill you himself. You know what I'm saying? But man was shook, bro. You know, imagine you coming around David like, bro, that's a real bad man, bro. That's real aura, bro. Killed Goliath, bro. You know what? Man better just chill.
Yeah.
The scripture says, strive not with a mighty man. Trump ain't no mighty man. Trump's a punk.
You know, black guy, isn't it?
Them man are just like weak men that command armies. David wasn't a weak man that commanded an army.
Some battles.
But they had to tell man
Yeah,
to
to
stop
chill.
going to war, man.
Yeah.
Come on.
Oh,
I love the smoke, bro.
I don't wanna.
I love the smoke, man. But we have mad warriors in our history. You crazy, man. Man like Joshua and them guys, man.
Yeah, I was going to mention it. It's like, because even him, I believe it's on Joshua. I think he got to the age of like 85, and he was still trying to go to war. And he was like, I still feel like I'm strong, like I was when I was like, Can't unks, bro. Chill.
But to be fair, even on the strength thing, certain times you be with certain family members and he's still trying to move like that.
Yeah.
Still trying to move with strength, like when they were younger. It's like, nah, I got it. I'm a
Nah,
grown
that's
man
good,
now. I
yeah.
can help you. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
because what usually goes is not is your reaction time.
Yeah.
But the scripture says, man, he still had all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He had to, because you can't fight unless you got reaction.
Yeah. But like it's not the same level, but you know, like that British boxer, Julian Jackson, he went viral. He went viral because like a young fucking Elam guy was trying to pester him, and he's all big, bloated, but the court that they knocked him out. Like, I'm sure you've seen it. It's
Bro, I need
to.
to send it to me.
I'll
man.
show you, bro. He knocked the shit out of him, bro. You know?
Yeah, bro. So we had so much great warriors, man, in our history, but men of honor, men of skill,
Knowledge of
Men of valor.
men of valor. And the Bible tells you Israel in the last days shall do valiantly again.
Yeah.
So we're not worried about Esau, man.
But because that's it. He's got this, these mechanical angels, right? He's going to be using, Skynet, try and hunt this, that, and the other.
The maiden
Drones.
temple angels, man.
You know, but we've got the real angels, man.
Real
Right?
power.
Hey, look, you read all the stories about how during was it, the Cold Wars or them, whatever it was, where it's like the angels would spin up the nuke, right, and then shut it back down. This, that, and the other. So it's
They
like
can hack any system.
that's it. You know.
Yeah, go
This is First Maccabees 3:25.
on.
Then began the fear of Judas and his brethren, an exceeding great dread. See, brother, dread. You know, to fall upon the nations round about them. In so much his fame came up unto the king, and all nations talked of the battles of Judas.
Woo.
Now, when the king Antiochus heard these things, he was full of indignations. Fucking hater.
I was dealing with that man who was the kids stuff.
Yeah, innit? I'm sure when Antiochus heard that, yeah, but he's low IQ.
How did we lose?
How did we lose? He says, now, when King Antiochus heard these things, he was full of indignation. Wherefore he said and gathered together all the forces of his realm.
And this is why these other nations were getting murked, man, because they might have had an army that was 2, 3, 4, 5 times larger. That's when they come to fight us, man. But they were still going home losing, bro.
He was with us. Man. Jake, once the Lord put that spirit on Jake get tapped.
Well, you got one guy taking out 300 dudes.
Different.
Yeah, bro.
You start getting scared. Like,
Yeah. Man said all the forces of his realm. Like, I don't know, Jake, where you from? Come. So just we must stop Judas, man. You know? So yeah,
That's
So
like
that's what
bringing
they
all
gonna
of
do to
NATO.
Yahushua. That's what they're going to try and do to Yahushua. They're going to try and send all the forces and they're going to get crushed because the Delta Force ain't doing shit, man. They're all going to die. They're all going to be destroyed, man.
Yep.
Yeah, and in shame too. No one ain't going to remember these guys. What for what? Because you killed Bin Laden. The fuck out of here.
ladies and gentlemen,
Kill.
Yeah.
kill.
So Zechariah 12,
Argentina.
12 verse 7. So the Lord also shall save the tents of Judah first, that the glory of the house of David and the glory of the inhabitants of Jerusalem do not magnify themselves against Judah. In that day shall the Lord Yahweh defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and he that is feeble among them at that day shall be as David, and the house of David shall be as God, as the angels of the Lord before them.
So we're going to get upgraded and we're going to be made into living weapons, man.
Oh.
Living
weapons of
weapons, man. Something that Esau wished he could be. So we're gonna be the physical manifestation of power in the earth. bro.
And it's
You know what I
funny because Mark Mason's his son, innit, right? It took a while for his powers to kick in, innit? Right? We're waiting for that day too.
Yeah.
We're waiting for the powers to kick in, man.
Yeah.
And we ain't gonna be on the side of the humans.
Well, it's just unlocking, bro. You know, the unlocking that what the Lord has built, man. And you Edomites are cooked, man. That's why don't worry about these Edomites. All they got is some dusty
Free stuff.
technology, but they're gay. So don't worry about them. Don't worry about them. Esau's cooked. Like I said, I was watching all this thing with Trump and I see all this spectacle and how them man are pompous and acting. And I said, yeah, that's how I know you're about to go down. All this spectacle is when a man's about to go down. That's what it is.
Full come off the pride.
Yeah. It's all pride because you ain't really done nothing that you be singing and dancing around putting Big Papa. When you see the White House, yeah, doing it. Did you see the video where they had
Oh
Big
yeah,
Papa
Hey,
in
no,
there?
that was embarrassing.
When you see
That
you
was
gotta do
bad. That's
all
a
that,
clown
yeah,
show. That was, yeah.
then you know you're cooked. This is just now. Now you just you hamming it up because you need to.
Yeah.
Because really, you're about to go down in a big way. You're not real. You're not nothing, man. You're gonna see real power when Yahweh Shai comes, man. He's gonna show you that you ain't really had no power. You had a bunch of little guns, yeah, but that ain't real power.
Yeah.
We can't even make it fair.
Yeah.
Man can't even make it fair. It's not even a fair fight. But you know what? It's good for you because you don't believe in fair fights.
Yeah.
I'm glad you don't. I'm glad you believe in might and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm glad because then when the Lord comes and dispatches you,
That's
then you
it.
can't complain. Oh, but you're a God. Okay.
That's it.
You
Is what it
you said you were.
You thought you was.
Isaiah 41, 14 and 15.
There ain't no international law.
That's it. It's
I am
Israelite.
the Lord.
Yeah. Fear not, thou worm Jacob, and ye men of Israel, I will help thee, saith Yahweh, and thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. Behold, I'll make thee a new sharp threshing instrument having teeth. Thou shalt thresh the mountains, and
Teeth is
beat
having power,
Yeah,
right?
but,
We don't have no power. We've got no teeth right now.
but the Lord's gonna zoop us up
Yeah.
because Esau, in terms of the ways of this world, is undefeatable by us. Because
There we
we ain't got the technology, the technological advancements in the military to come against. It's not that Esau physically is no. It's his ability to rain fire from the sky. But don't worry, we got that ability too.
Yeah,
Right.
you know, tell me to put down all these guns and all this stuff. Let's go knuckle to knuckle, innit? Let's see if you still got a kingdom by it.
But man will get the Jake Paul thing, man. It's simple as that, man. See how man's jaw
What's up,
just
Jaws?
broke up, man. You know what I'm saying? These guys, but it's fair news. You got that. No, well done. But now you're gonna find out that we had the technological advancement the whole time.
Yeah.
Really, we got what you could never have.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, go on.
this is
Hey,
Isaiah 45 and 14.
Upgrade.
Thus saith the Lord, the labor of Egypt and the merchandise of Ethiopia and the Sabians, men of stature, shall come over unto thee. They shall be thine. They shall come after thee in chains.
Even all these other nations, you're going into slavery
Oh,
too. So all their weapons and all that, what they're doing is nothing. It's just for them to play and destroy each other. But then we're gonna show that, beginning with the Lord, man, Yahushua gonna show them what it's really all about. Yeah, because you can't match the chariots, man. You can't. Like you ain't on no you little fighter jet, your anti-aircraft and all that stuff, man. It's like it's like a fucking crane flyer fighting against me, bro. You know the crane fly, they just be flying around the place, man. Do that, man. You can't do nothing against me.
It says, in chains they shall come. It says that they shall be thine. They shall come after thee in chains. They shall come over and they shall fall down unto thee, saying, surely God is in thee, and there's none else. There's no God.
That's it. They're gonna have to respect true power because Esau's not a true power.
Yeah.
He's a false god. Esau is a false Temu god. That's what he is. And then when you see all this spectacle with Trump and I was sitting there, and people, the aura, he's so powerful, and bro, you're a false god, man.
Yeah.
And you trying to make your word be the law. That's basically what he's saying. Because I can kill, because I have these guns, then I'm the law. No, the Bible tells you if you have a king, the king is supposed to study the law and administer the law of God. Yeah, you're not supposed to. The whole point of being the king or being a noble isn't then you get to be God on earth and then you decide what's right or wrong. Right or wrong is not decided by man. Right or wrong is decided by Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. So you administer according to that. Even in the kingdom, we're gonna make up our own laws. Oh, because I'm an Israelite, I'm just gonna make up a law. No, the law already exists. The righteousness of the Lord is what's gonna be established. He's already decided what's right or wrong. Not you, Esau. You think you could come and decide what's right and wrong because you got a gun. You're a piece of shit, man. You're a demon. That's not how civilized. You see, man, talking about being civilized. How is that civilized? So now civilization is just based upon who's the strongest. What about who's the wisest?
Well, it's a Darwinism, bro, isn't it? You know?
Yeah, but Darwinism is not true.
So,
It's not always the strongest that wins. It's not. It's not. Sometimes the strongest gets cancer and dies. How strong are you then?
That's it.
Survival of the fittest. Bullshit. Sometimes the smart one wins. You know what I mean? You work smart.
well, that's King David.
Yeah. Sometimes so it's really
Time and
the Lord.
chance. Yeah, time and chance.
Time and chance happening to all men. It's all about really. It's wisdom. Wisdom is what should rule. Wisdom is the Bible tells you wisdom is the principal thing. Esau's telling you that the power of death is the principal thing. So because I can kill you, you have to whatever I say goes. How is that civilized? And then these men want to call themselves Christians. Is that what the Bible teaches you? So whoever can kill who? So if I'm stronger than you, I could just take your wife. That's basically the world they want to live in. Oh well, you're not strong. I could take your wife. No, it doesn't matter if a man's strong or not. Even if the man's weak and he ain't got an 8-pack here, I'm not supposed to take his wife.
So,
that's a transgression. And even David got called out on the transgression, and he was king. You can't do that. Just because you're king doesn't mean that you get to do whatever you want based upon. No, you have to live by the ways of the Lord. The only person, the only entity that gets to do whatever they want is the Most High Himself, and He does do whatever He wants. He's bound only by His own word.
Quick precept. No. Sure.
Fucking Trump. Go Trump. Like he's some kind of god or something. Some flipping
Fat turkey.
some fucking tall, weak Edomite. And he's always been a weak man. Paper tiger Edomite.
But that demon Matt Walsh as well.
He's another
He's a loser.
yeah, these ideas. We should do this. We should take this and take that. Matt, you wouldn't take anything though. You just fucking chatting on Twitter, bro.
It says Psalm 75 verse 5. It says, "Lift not up your horn on high, speak not with a stiff neck, for promotion cometh neither from the east, nor from the west, nor from the south. But the Most High is the judge, and He putteth down one and setteth up another."
So these men think because they got all these weapons and Delta Force that's going to keep them in power. And I'm glad the American Edomites, that's the pride that they're rolling with.
So when the Lord crushes it,
When the Lord crushes it, you're
Breaks
going to
their
find
teeth.
out.
breaks their
Oh,
teeth.
we're gonna double the defense budget. But I'll tell you what, triple it, bro.
Yeah.
Triple it because it's still gonna be destroyed, man. And you're gonna go out sacked.
So Ezekiel 28:9, will thou yet say before him that slayeth thee, I am God?
There you go.
But thou shalt
Go on.
but thou shalt be a man and no God in the hand of him that slayeth.
And one thing I know about being a man is shit can always go wrong, man. No matter who you are, listen, the Most High can give you a bad day. You can give everyone a bad day. And you're about to have a bad day. All right?
Yeah.
You probably got anything else to close up? No?
My last one.
No? All right, man. We say, call halal double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone.
Double honors.
Most of you brothers out there in the highways and the byways. And shalom to